This video contains strong language not suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
I understand what it means to not have agency.
Does Ronan know what that word means? Because Chris doesn't.
Perfect.
So, hello everyone, and welcome back
Hello.
to 5% Chance. This week, there's a 5% chance that someone's getting unplugged from the Matrix today. Who wants to remember where we left off?
Not it. I think I was pretty drunk last time.
This is the internet, Josh.
The internet can know that I'm drinking right now, Chris.
Yeah, I guess I can. We were in a room, and there were rooms on either side, and you draw a little booby face on one of them, and it comes to a gibbering talk box, which I think is that thing that they play in Snarky Puppy. I think in Sleeper, the wah 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 wah. I think that's a gibbering talk box. And then Robbie drew a 0 and a 1, and that opened up the floor, and then a little Modron was like, "Hello there, I am Modron," and that's where we ended. There was also a Kraken involved, and
Yep,
Thrall
I
murdered a bird person, and Ronan got mad.
Wasn't it 2 or is it just 1?
Okay, Robbie.
It was just one.
Robbie killed one.
Right.
Well, no.
Robbie killed
the birds.
The kobolds.
The birds killed the one bird because there were 4 birds and one was infected. So the
Weren't
three
there
of
3
them,
birds?
the 3 non-infected birds killed the one infected bird, and then they were sad about it. And then the 3 non-infected birds were leaving, and Thrall sliced the back one's head off.
Yeah,
I
and our
thought there were
lovely
3
DM
total.
made me struggle with my character.
Also, I feel like
Welcome to
we're,
D&D.
we're allowed to say anything we want. People watch 48 seconds of these videos. We're good.
I mean, not normally. Do you want
That's what the
analytics
chart
for
said.
all the other ones?
That was for the most recent one.
Oh, I was about to say, I was
Dun,
like, well,
dun, dun, dun.
No, I get like when I talk to my buddy Ed, who's in Iraq, who watches these.
Edward.
Yeah, he gives me updates, and he's like, "Oh man, that was really cool," and he had so many questions, and yeah, it's a great time.
That's dope.
So, let's see, because
The watch
Thrall
time
turned
on our
invisible.
last video is 6.9 hours.
there was an important detail. Thrall's sword says dancing,
The Obsidian Dancer.
yes, which none of us know what that means. We all rolled it.
I think that's an Elton John song.
hold me closer, Obsidian Dancer.
City and dance.
So yeah, the center portal opened when in the middle of Ronan trying to draw a Modron. As you finish that first circle, Robbie drew a 1 on the north panel. And the center summoning circle and opened up into basically this black abyss. And as everyone was kind of staring into the abyss, you heard a voice behind you. It says, "Greetings and salutations." And that is where we left off. And that's where we will pick up again.
So we're in the room with the bird people and the little buggy.
The bird people and the body of the Mind Flayer corpse is still in this room. And so as of right now, Ronan, I think Lami, you turned around, I think was the very last thing that happened.
Yep.
Or like you at least like freaked out a little bit.
About seeing the old guy.
Is he
Yep.
gonna do what we did in episode 1?
Yeah, I'm gonna go step on it.
Yep. Yep. I knew it. I knew as soon as he started talking, he was gonna step on it. Don't worry, folks. They'll come back. They always do.
God damn it.
Unless this one.
Why do you have to be mean to it?
They mean to us.
So as you turn and everyone kind of turns with you, you see a small figure that looks like a singular circle with the biggest feature on this is basically just a giant eye. And 4 kind of spidery limbs, and it's small, like it's maybe about This one's about 6 inches high,
Mhm.
and there's no mouth on it.
Oh.
But
I
it's looking up, and as Alami starts sprinting over,
Yeah, I'm just gonna shout bug, and I'm gonna go step on it.
as you're running towards it, it goes, "I am designation," and just is crushed
Oh no.
into flinders, and it sounds like just like I am designation.
I just remembered something of last game, but I think it's too late now.
What?
As soon
Not
as
really.
as soon as the thing said greetings and salutations, Mike went, "Hello, I am Robbie."
That's true.
That is
He did.
true.
So Robbie says that as he is turning to the figure, and Robbie is just turns and turns just in time to see Lami's foot just crush this thing.
Good old days, boys.
Why did you do that?
Because we don't like the bugs. The bugs are mean.
The bugs may have information that can help us. Please,
But the bugs are mean.
I can make sure they are not mean to you. I can also possibly make sure they are mean to you.
Oh.
Please, if you see another one, resist the urge to squash it
But-
until I may speak with it.
Can I squash it after?
We will see.
Fingers crossed. I really like stepping on those. They have a nice crunch.
Do I hear anything happening while this is
What are
going
you
on?
listening for? Like,
Other robots, bad things.
there's still kind of some rumblings from the as the stonework in that center ring is kind of finished dropping. And there's
Oh
some
yeah, I
still
was
some-
standing on that.
Yeah, Ronan yanked you off of it, like the hero he is. Sorry. And so there's other than that, there's no actually there's no large obvious noises. If you want to keep a really, really good ear out for, like, give me a perception check, please. First roll of the game.
It's cocked, but it's only cocked a little bit, so that's a 7 plus, I think, 0. Yes, a 7.
You don't hear anything, which is why it surprises you when you hear another voice go, "Greetings and salutations," from the opposite side of the circle.
I'm gonna go, ah!
Yeah, I was gonna do the same thing. Startled. Ugh.
And you turn, and there's an exact copy of this thing on the other side of the room, closest to Robbie.
Where did you come from, tiny bug?
Greetings and salutations. I am designation 001 001 001100. Please wait here while my master approaches.
Josh's face. I'm gonna write that down. What do you say?
Master?
Yes.
Who's master?
Who's
Robbie, talk to the bug.
Robbie turns and, like, crouches down in front of this thing and looks at it, and there's a sort of a single loud beep that's more like a ping, as Robbie begins speaking to this thing in its native language.
In ping noise.
In
Binary.
it turns into a beep, and then the Modron kind of freezes and looks up at him and beeps back, and so the two of them just start sending, like, just like clicks, beeping clicks back and forth and back and
I was
forth.
hoping they just opened their mouth and static would just come out.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm just picturing, like, Robbie, like, I'm picturing that they both have mouths, even though neither do, and it's just like, bop, 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 bop,
It's
bop, bop, bop,
super
bop.
it's super staccato. It's very just like beep, beep. It's more like Morse
Charlie
code,
Brown.
Mm.
but it's
Nice.
and at one point,
Dial
from what
tone
you're
noises.
hearing of this conversation, Robbie keeps repeating the same phrase, and the Modron keeps looking up at him and is giving what sounds like a denial, just like an access denied. It's like, yeah, more like kind of like the cancellation noise on Windows XP, just like boom, boom. And so Robbie gets a little like he takes a second and then turns and his eyes flash. It's not the daylight flash that he blinded a couple of you with last time. This is the white flame that you guys see, like you'll see it sometimes from his palms. And all of a sudden you hear this screeching that sounds like it's coming from the distance, and it's just like, and the Modron just kind of looks at him, and it looks like it's trying to move away, but it is frozen in place.
Oh,
And as the screech kind of peters out, the Modron kind of shakes itself loose, and then Robbie asks the same question again,
Boop,
or
boop.
what you assume is a question, and there's an answer. The Modron has a response this time. It's not just refused.
So they can be intimidated.
And he looked at us when he did that, or
No,
looked at-
he's not looked anywhere else except at this Modron.
Okay.
So like beep beep, I'm a sheep man.
it's pretty intimidating. Stepping on them.
And after this whole exchange takes place in probably less than 15 seconds. And Robbie turns and stands and goes, "The master of the Menagerie will be here shortly. We should wait for him. He will have the answers we need. This unit does not." And he just like kicks it into the pit.
Oh,
Menagerie.
And this Modron just like is stock still, just goes,
Robbie, what do you think is in that pit? I want to listen. I want to hear and like how long it takes for the thing to hit at the bottom of anything.
you hear a ping as it hits off something metal.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long way down.
Oh.
And there was no stop to that. There was like it just like you heard a ping and it just keeps echoing down, and like it just you don't hear it landing. And is anybody looking into the pit except Lami?
Does anybody have Featherfall?
we could. Thalia, could you cast light on like an arrow that maybe Lythar could shoot down the hole?
Yeah, I could.
Maybe we should try that. Yes.
Alright. I'm gonna pull an arrow. And I'm just gonna look at Thalia like,
I can't see. Hold on.
I'm just looking at you with the arrow pull, kind of like, are you ready?
I have to touch it. So,
I'm just gonna awkwardly stand there like,
all right, I will cast light on the arrow.
Okay. Any particular color of light, or are you just making it bright and
It's just bright.
bright and flashy? Okay. So Lythar, you're gonna shoot down into this hole.
yeah.
Cool. Give me a ranged attack, just
Oh shit! I swear.
with advantage because you can't fail. Like you can't fail shooting it down the hole. I just need to know something real quick.
I'm like nervous.
Oh no.
I'm gonna hit something. Oh, am I gonna hit the robot? Am I that?
You
good?
should have just dropped it down the hole.
That-
Yeah, but it's
So am I rolling like to hit? You mean?
Yeah, just make a regular attack roll.
So that's a 15.
Okay.
here's the Kraken.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
So you guys watch this blue arrowhead, or is it? No, sorry, it's white. You watch this white point of this arrowhead. And Lythar just walks up to the edge. Zoom, and it zooms by. And as it's coming down, like Lythar, are you shooting straight down the center, or are you shooting towards one of the edges?
Probably straight down the center. I don't want it
Okay.
to hit a side.
Okay.
There's no good way to do this.
So you shoot this arrow down this hole, and as it's coming up, you see You see it falling, and you see something move out of the way as it comes. You see something just, and then as it keeps falling, you don't hear that hit the bottom either. But as this flash of light came down, you definitely saw something spherical and rather large in this hole.
It's a Balrog of Morgoth.
Can I look up?
I don't think that's
make sure
spherical.
there's- Can I look up and make sure there's not another portal thing on the ceiling, and it's not gonna like portal?
There's nothing on the ceiling. Good concern. There's nothing on the ceiling.
That was my thought. I was like, oh no, it's gonna hit me. It's gonna.
So did the light like just fade away? It went that deep?
Yep.
Wow.
Am I the only one that saw the figure, or did everybody see that?
Who's looking into the pit?
I was looking in the pit.
I was
Big
looking in the
boys
pit.
Um, I feel like, Lami, what's your passive perception?
11.
I feel like Thalia would have been looking in the pit since she cast light on it.
I was
Thalia.
actually keeping an eye on Robbie.
Oh.
Robbie is literally just looking down with just his hands at his sides in his duster and hat, just looking down this hole,
Hmm.
kind of just hanging out.
So I'm just gonna like. I would say I was like after I shot, I definitely like hunched over a little bit closer to see if I could see, and then I'm just gonna slowly look at the very large people surrounding the hole as well, and be like, did you guys see the thing that moved?
Lami, you did see it.
Did I see
Okay.
it?
Yes,
you
it was
looking
quite
at
shiny.
You were looking in the hole, right?
Yeah.
What's your passive perception?
10.
You saw something move when it went by, which
I
seems to
saw
be
an
corroborated.
arrow.
Which seems to be corroborated with the rest of the goon squad you have.
There's a lot of stone.
There's a lot
Also-
of wall.
As far as tertiary characters or secondary characters, Keelik has not moved from the Kenku at this point. They are all still kneeling around the beheaded Kenku.
Nice. Good job, Paul.
Cora is sitting with them at this moment. She has not run up to you, Lythar.
That's
And Maury, what's Frank up to? Because I don't think I remember what he was doing at the end of the last set.
Fool of a took.
I was
He's probably mad at
repairing.
me too.
Yeah, I was repairing Frank, and we were just kind of chilling.
Okay. Yeah, because I think that was So he's all patched up and we're all so.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to do anything else?
I guess we just wait for the thing.
Well,
The guy.
did
Robbie, you said you had a person coming.
Yes.
Is that happening now? Are they in the hole? Do we have to go in the hole?
I was told he would be on his way here. We only need to wait a few moments.
Well, let's have some beer and biscuits and wait.
If
Robbie,
if
did
this master is coming, I mean, if we let these Kenku out of their room, we should probably let them go now before the master comes.
I don't think that we're restraining them, are we?
No?
Not
we,
there.
we certainly haven't shown them the way out.
Do we know the way out?
Yeah, it's the way we came in.
Yeah,
Yes.
but everything's all
I'm just gonna
different now. We
point-
changed doors.
It's that way. Be on with yourselves, happy bird folk.
Sorry about your friend.
Sure.
Sorry.
Sorry.
They don't. They look up and they listen to what you're saying, and they kind of look around, and one of them, leave now, leave. Two
Yes.
together, stay.
No,
Leave.
no.
We
Together.
leave.
Together, leave. Walkie.
Walk.
You can fly. I don't know what you birds do. Just
When
get out of here.
when you start doing when you say fly and make the flying motion, they just glare at you. They just-
They
Um,
can't like it. They.
and give me a history check there, Lythar.
I was more just thinking out loud.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a nat 20, baby. My history is probably garbage too, but what a
Uh,
waste of a nat
so
20.
one of the things you know about Kenku, is they cannot fly,
Oh,
and part of their mythology is like when they used to have wings and they used to be able to fly.
Oh,
And as a sort of fun fact from some of your readings and learning about the smaller forest races that you've run into, the subspecies, one of their forms of torture, or not even torture, just like shame, is giving somebody a pair of wooden wings as like a necklace, as like a badge of shame. So there
I've
you go. You
successfully
learned something
offended
there.
them.
Oh yes, you
I'm-
did.
Man,
I'm
they
gonna
hate us
look-
even more.
I'm gonna look at Lami and be like, don't
Or hate me.
mention flying wings. Just let it go. Don't.
Ooh,
Lami,
are you- you
Stop.
sure?
Yes.
Okay, well then just walkie out
there
of
you
here.
go. Walkie.
Keelik stands up, puts the glaive in the ground and stands up, and kind of looks at the two Kenku, and very gently reaches down and picks up the body of the beheaded one, and one of the Kenku picks up the head, and they walk back towards that north door.
The door that is not the exit?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
And Keelik draws the same symbol he saw when that door first opened. He just draws a quick arrow on it, and you hear the and the doorway opens up. There's the 4 doors, and the 3 of them process in, and then a couple of seconds later come out without the body. And Keelik walks up to you, Thrall, and goes, "I will lead them out of here if that's all right with you. Something about
That's fine.
being underground is making me less comfortable than it normally does. I will wait at the exit.
That's fine.
Thank you. We'll wait for your return." And he turns and kind of ushers the Kenku out the door, and the three of them head west towards where you came in.
West? I thought you
Scaredy
said
cat.
east.
This is gonna end bad.
Cora did not go with them, right? Based on what she came.
Cora has, now that they have all left, Cora has circled around to
I was
you
about
and
to
is
say,
sitting
don't
next to
you
you.
dare.
Keelik comes back right on top of her.
Wow!
And
Flair,
at-
woo!
So now y'all are just there's been no changes in the room during all of this hubbub. Is
I'm
there
gonna-
anything?
Well,
I'm gonna look
if
at-
if we're waiting for somebody, we might as well just sit down and have a drink.
I'm gonna ask Robbie, because I'm gonna be like, Robbie, did you see that thing that moved in the hole? And if you didn't, can you turn your bright eye lights on and look down there? If you don't mind.
He looks up and goes, "Yes." One moment, and looks down the hole. And just and
There's a mirror at the bottom.
those light beams just
Now it's
fire
fun.
down into the hole. And as he looks down at everyone, looks down and sees this light shooting into it, it actually, the light goes, what's the range on daylight? Because I can never honkin' remember with this man.
A couple 100,000 million miles, because it comes from the sun.
It
Did
is
Fucking Andy. It's not a vacuum.
60 feet. 60 feet, I think.
So 60 feet of bright light and dim light for 120. Because it's angled in a direction, we're gonna double that. So about 300 feet down, you just see dark. And slowly, at the very edges of this light, you start to see something rising up towards you.
What's it look like?
As it gets closer, actually, everybody give me perception checks.
Whee!
15.
Actually,
Nat 20 again. I'm not fucking shitting. Whoa.
asking Lytha what his elf eyes see seems a little silly.
21.
Okay.
Wait, what? Asking me what?
Your elf eyes.
I got a 2.
2. Okay.
I did twice as good as DP. I got a 4.
Excellent. What'd you get, Lummy?
15.
What'd you get, Thrall?
I got a 2.
Okay.
Nice.
Boy,
2 squad.
boy, this is a range of fucking rolls here.
Two gang.
The weird version of 2 Chains. So as this thing starts coming up, Lythar and Thalia, you spot it first. You start to see the more than just the spherical outline of this thing. You see it has 4 kind of undulating, they look like tentacles with stalks on them. And then in a
Chris.
what looks like a ring, it looks like a bunch of hands as well that are moving around it, around its hemisphere. If it was a globe, these hands are moving around its equator. But these eyes are towards the top. And it's a very steady, almost like casual, like it's not in a rush to go anywhere. Just
So me and Thalia, I'm gonna look at Thalia and I'm just gonna be like, please don't tell me that's the Kraken from.
No, that's not a Kraken. Don't worry about that, I guess. Do I know what it is?
If you want to make a history check,
Sure. Why not?
Man, level 6. There's some shit.
I hope
Chris
Chris
don't
is wrong
metagame.
with what he thinks it is.
it's not what you think, Chris.
It's
I'm
not what I think.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
throwing a beholder at you right after a
It's
mind flayer.
not
I was
that.
a little nervous. Okay.
It's not that.
I saw
That's a
Chris's face.
25.
Chris was staring at the camera the whole time.
So as this thing gets closer and closer and closer, and Robbie is also staring at it, and as it gets up to about 200 feet, it covers about 100 feet and is getting closer to you. And now you're really getting to see the details of like the metal plating on the outside of this thing. Robbie goes, "Yes, that is the master of the Menagerie. He will be with us shortly."
Oh my.
Thalia, it looks like from the sort of thing that you've read in part of your history, learning about the Modron March, the Great March that happens every 289 years. Every year, every like 289th year, every single Modron on this plane leaves and marches through every other plane of reality and comes home. And this looks like descriptions and drawings of what you've seen. This looks like a decaton, which is one of the like regiment commanders, effectively, where this is in charge of large squads of Rodrons, a couple of thousand of all the lower ranks. The decatron drives them and gives them their orders and listens to orders from nonatrons, akatrons, and all the way up.
Don't forget Megatron.
This is one of the this is one of like the leadership hierarchy. This is not the tiny little Modron that Robbie kicked in. This is the battalion commander, effectively, of these.
So it is Megatron.
You know that they
Autobot scum.
they generally can use magic, and it's one of those, especially during the march. You know that when they're coming, you just have to get out of the way. There's no stopping Modrons when they're marching, and this is the guy that tells them which direction to march.
That's what it looks like.
I'm sorry, those lips are so thick.
That's something weird they did in 5th edition is they gave them all really full lips and it makes
They did.
everyone uncomfortable. Like nobody likes those.
It's
Oh.
weird.
It's like Jinx from Pokemon.
Oh.
I don't like this, Ronan. I don't like this at all.
I'm just
Well,
gonna
'cause-
stare with my mouth open.
Wait, what is it? I want to see. What is it?
As it's getting closer and closer and closer. It hits about 100 feet, and now it is firmly in Robbie's eyelights, and everyone can see it. And it's kind of fucked up. Like it's like the size of a really fat human.
I'm gonna point at
Just
it and
this
say,
large.
"What's that?"
I don't know what it is, and I'm not sure if we should stay here. I'm not sure what to do at all.
Is it floating or is it
Yep.
coming up on something? Huh.
It's
Did
floating.
Robbie literally say this is the master of the menagerie? Menagerie?
Yeah, that doesn't tell me what it is.
I know, but it's what we're waiting for.
It is a servant of the Primus, or at least it should be.
Isn't the
I will have
Primus your guy?
Yes. It means I have questions for this unit.
Okay.
And Robbie stands there with his hands at his sides, but you see that his one hand has shifted into its cannon. It's
Robbie,
just still at his side.
Oh no.
Yeah, Robbie, should you turn off the headlights? Is that like proper etiquette? I don't know.
As
I'm gonna slowly draw my weapons.
and Thalia, as you say that, and Lami's pulling his weapons, you hear a voice go, "Yes, please. Can you turn that off, sir? That's really rather bright." And Robbie goes, "I will turn them off when you are out of the darkness." He goes, "Fair enough. I'll be right there." And as it's getting closer, you hear this, and it just comes hovering up, and it pops out of the hole, and is kind of hovering above the center of it. This thing is rotund. Like this thing is probably like 5 feet in diameter in every direction. He's just a big boy. But
Hello there.
underneath that 5-foot orb, there are a pair of legs that look like regular human legs, if a little metallic. It doesn't look like they're riveted onto the base. It looks like they're extruding out from it. And there's more of a face, and then the eyes are the four stalks are eyes, and it's looking around the room, and the eyes are pivoting around the sphere, looking at all of you.
Hello there.
Hello. What are you all doing here?
That's a very good question.
I received an alert that someone had been causing a ruckus among the exhibits, and I was hoping that it was I wasn't expecting to find anybody.
No, it was us.
All of you?
What do you mean
Little
by
bit.
exhibits?
You mean the things in the doors that are in there?
X gonna give it to you.
Yes.
Oh,
It is my menagerie.
oh. Yep. It was all of us. Yep.
Robbie steps forward and goes in. He opens his mouth and sends out the same ping that he first sent the Modron. And all four eyes swivel around the head and snap to Robbie.
Mm.
And the mouth is still pointing towards you, Lami. And all of the eyes snap, and the head starts talking as it pivots around and goes, "Well, my goodness. I was not expecting an agent of the Primus to come visit. I didn't think it was time for an inspection. I understand that this has been somewhat unusual, but I have everything well in hand, as you can see, with the exception of you and your companions, sir." And Robbie just has the cannon out and is looking, kind of staring him down. And one of the eyes snakes away from Robbie and looks at the rest of the group.
I'm gonna whisper to who's standing next to me.
Me, maybe?
Okay.
Who wants
deal.
to be standing next to
We
him?
were
Chris
looking
said
down
it. Chris,
the hole
Chris,
originally.
Chris said it first. Yeah, but it's a circle.
That's what I'm saying. I was going to ask who was all looking down.
I'm gonna whisper to Ronan. Do you think we can trust either of these two?
What two? There's one.
Both of the robots.
Well, we can trust Robbie, and I don't
Do
know
we
about.
know that?
Yeah. Maybe. I think so.
I have my doubts.
Anybody else want to say and or do something?
I will probably. Yeah, I'll speak. Sorry if I'm interrupting. We heard there were reports of a hippogriff or some sort of creature, and we followed it here. We didn't mean to intrude. We were trying to make sure that there was no harm to the town nearby.
And the eye that was working its way towards Lami and Ronan stops and just like kind of spins around and looks at you. And it gets like, it kind of ducks down and gets like kind of up in your face and starts looking around at you. And then from the mouth on this thing, you hear, "You are the reason that specimen has returned? Oh, thank you. I was having such a terrible time trying to catch that one again. Thank you. Oh, one moment. Please, stand clear of that door. It will be returning soon." And the Decadron backs away and just like kind of floats to the south. And you hear that the Kenku had been replicating for you. You hear that noise coming from off from the west. Or hang on, whichever direction.
West is
the
where we
outside-
came from, I think.
What
Yeah.
kind of specimens?
The west is like the entrance, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
guys came from the west. So from the direction that the Kenku and Keelik all went, you hear the noises. Things are coming in. So there was a question that
My.
Yeah, just
So you're not very good at keeping your specimens in their boxes, are you?
this has been the most successful menagerie ever implemented. I have had no incursions for the past 216 years.
It is a
Until-
long time.
Until approximately 3 weeks ago,
No.
when I had a incursion and a few escapees, including,
Like
these-
how many?
well, the last of these escapees appears to be returning now. And the west door slides open, and you hear just start to echo in the room, and this horde of tiny Modrons, the exact same thing that Robbie just kicked into the pit, just come crawling in like a living carpet in a perfectly regimented column, about 4 feet wide. And on carrying them on their backs, or carried on it, all of their backs, is an entirely metal hippogriff that's being restrained by Modrons grabbing onto each other like the most horrific metallic army ants you've ever seen. And they've just like restrained this thing on top of it, and this thing is kind of kicking and screaming. It can't really scream because its mouth is being clamped shut by a pair of Modrons that are looking out. So you see this thing turning, and it's just locked in, and you see, and the swarm just takes this hippogriff and then starts going down into the hole again, and they just keep walking down the side of that wall, and they disappear into the darkness.
Why are you keeping things here?
For safety.
For whose safety?
So what happens if you die? Then
Fine.
what? Then
Fine.
who watches over these things?
Well, a pentadrone will be promoted and will receive my designation. I apologize. Have I not introduced myself? It's been 200 and it's been a very long time since I've met anyone. My designation is Tangible Entry Reserve Resource Integrator. I am Terry, number 45. To answer your question, if you were to kill me, a pentadrone would be promoted and become Terry 46.
Should have named him Mambo number 45.
What
So
happened to Terry 44?
yeah, he died, Ronan.
Oh.
I can share that story with you if you would like. It's really not an exciting story, but I can share that if you'd like.
Is my sword saying anything to me at this time?
Your sword is quiet.
Your sword is terrified.
Well,
Sees those
The last
lips
thing
and is
you-
like,
the
no,
last thing
thank you.
You heard was your sword saying, "You know where to find me. Talk to me when you're ready." And taking a step back, and it was like going into their room inside the back of your head.
gotcha.
Excuse me, Mr. Terry. I'm
Yeah.
absolutely amazed by your menagerie. Could you what kind of animals do you got in here? What kind of things?
Well, and he kind of floats down to get closer to your level, and the center summoning circle starts to seal up again. As stone just, and it kind of rotates back into position, and he settles down on it as it finishes closing. The goal of this project was to keep specimens alive for study, research, and possibly breeding in case of some kind of unforeseen planar event.
So why are they turning into metal?
What do you mean?
Why are your hippogriffs shiny and metal?
That is a failsafe in these units. If they are to escape the menagerie, they are compelled to return. And if they cannot be returned, unfortunately, because of how I am constructed, I am not able to leave. I'm the permanent caretaker. So I am unable to retrieve them. However, they are compelled to return, or they are metallicized until they can be retrieved by a recovery crew. Thank you very much for helping bring this unit back. It had eaten several recovery crews on the way out.
So,
what kind of
go on, Deeps.
what other kind of specimens? I mean, I've seen your Kraken. I've seen your
Oh
little
yes, the
Kenku
Kraken.
friends.
I'm very proud of the Kraken. That one was a personal acquisition. I had to fight so many other. Anyway, another not important story. The Kraken is my personal pride and joy. If that is permitted, and he looks over at Robbie, who is just continued to stare at this thing. He's turned off the eyes, but his hand is continuing to glow, and his arm cannon is still glowing at his side as he's looking at this thing.
So, what's
the-
your
the other-
deal?
The other specimens we have several of these scattered through this material plane for safekeeping. What is there anything in particular you would like to see?
I was wondering if you had any more dwarves or humans or people.
So you're holding people and individuals here against their will?
The collection process is painless, and
But they
in
can't
fact,
leave.
here they are kept quite comfortably and alive much longer than they typically would.
So it's a zoo.
Is that not the word you would use? Menagerie.
This does not sit well with Thrall.
This does not sit well with Ronan.
As far as we
Yeah,
have,
Robbie,
We have
exactly
no
do we
humans
need to know?
or we have no humans or dwarves at this moment. We are not in a well-populated area for dwarves, and the human specimens, unfortunately, were the escapees a few weeks ago. I've been sending the recall command, but unfortunately, they have not returned to me.
Well, that's not
So-
good.
So everyone that leaves this place, they get turned into those metallic-y weirdness like that hippogriff. Is that what you're telling me?
The hippogriff was an anomaly. There's seems to be no reason that unit had not returned or turned completely to metal, as it were. The unit should have returned on its own, or fallen from the sky and been unharmed until we were able to collect it. This is an anomaly that I will need to analyze. And when it says anomaly, Robbie pulls up his cannon and is like, it's not the usual like bluish bolt. It is blinding white.
Oh, our robot does not like that.
And the two eyes swivel back to Robbie and goes, "But sir, I'm merely doing the task that I was charged with. This is my first encounter with this anomaly."
I'm gonna draw my sword too.
Okay.
Just hold it.
Okay. Nothing happens. You draw it like normal.
Just hold it.
Just hanging out in your hand. And Terry just turns all his eyes to Robbie and he goes, "Have I done something wrong? Have I not done as the Primus requested?" Robbie kind of stands there for a second. "I am not sure. The Primus has not given me all the instruction. One moment, please." And his eyes kind of dim a little bit. Like, and this is something you've seen before when he goes into like it's almost like a fugue state where he just kind of like zones out for a couple of minutes and then ticks back in. So he's going to be out for a minute or three. And while he like dips into that fugue state, Terry turns around and goes, "Does he always do this?"
Sometimes.
Yeah, it's happened before. Yes.
Well, I'm not one to question the will of the Primus. And so he takes a step and he looks, and for the first time as he's looking around the room, he sees the corpse of the Mind Flayer in the corner. And he like shrieks, he's like, "Oh no!" And like kind of toddles over, and all of the eyes start looking over it. And he goes, "Oh no, 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 what happened to you? No." And all like the arms are starting to reach out and like kind of feeling over the corpse of the Flayer and like picking up the head, and one of the eyes branches off and looks at the head while he's handling. He goes, "No, no, what happened? No, 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 you were on the intake list today. You were going fine. No, no, no."
That would be our bad there, Terry.
You killed this specimen.
He escaped out of containment.
Well, he wasn't very happy that we were here. So,
How did he escape containment? Those cubes are very, very well contained. The storage unit should not have been able to be breached.
We accidentally booped the cube onto that funky little circle in the middle of the room, and he popped out.
the freaky circle.
Oh.
You should really
Right.
keep these two things in different rooms if you don't want silly people like us to mess it up.
Well, I guess that's a conversation to have with the cleaning staff. And he kind of laughs, and it's this grating. It's like a grating wheeze. It's like,
Yes.
yeah, kind of like General Grievous. It's
Also-
it's not a pleasant sound.
I love how this party is incapable of apparently fucking lying about anything. You guys are just like, "Oh yeah, we did that." Yeah.
I can't lie.
Thrall literally cannot lie.
Character
Right.
cannot
I'm working on it.
The other people.
Um,
It was like, yeah, we did that. Sorry, man. I was like, we're all dead. We're all about to
I'm
die.
quite
for a
quite
second.
proud of the fact that we killed this thing.
So the humans that escaped, how many escaped, and did they have names?
I did not record any names. Is that something I should do in the future? Will that make them
Names
more
are
You should
comfortable?
not collect humans at all.
Names are good, Terry. Every yes.
The only reason they are collected is because the Primus willed it for the survival of their species.
I don't care.
Baja Blast.
I apologize. But your cares do not outweigh the needs of survival of a species.
I mean, they're doing pretty well out there by themselves. Just saying.
Which ones?
The humans. Yeah, all the things.
With their wars and their plagues and their ceaseless fighting with each other and with the other sentient races out there?
Yeah, they're fine.
Interesting.
This is some
Have a
heavy
look at
information, Terry.
Mr.
To answer
Terry,
your-
sir. Sorry.
To answer your question, ma'am, there were 4 humans, a bonded pair of adults, and 2 children from the bonded pair of adults. They were stored in room H with the other specimens.
Did anything else escape besides the humans?
There was one breach. Yes, specimen commonly known as a hooked horror. Yes. But it was killed before it could leave.
Hmm.
Fortunately, nothing else was able to escape in that time.
I'm
aside
gonna
from-
glance at Ronan.
Aside from the aforementioned hippogriffs. But that has been resolved.
How many hippogriffs have you gotten back?
Just the one. The other one stopped responding in any way a few days ago.
You're welcome.
Do you have
What do
any
you mean
like?
you're welcome? Did you
I
also?
wasn't in character. Sorry.
Sorry. Also, he wrote it real quick. What are you doing with it? Where's that? Do you still have that? You
It
still have that
is-
rock beat,
it-
don't you?
It was left
I
in the
think we left it
house.
outside. We left it outside.
It was left in the burned down house.
Oh yes. Okay. Great.
Wait, what was left out? In
The rock beak.
Oh.
Like big hunk of metal.
Wearing it on your head.
I forgot to
Every
ask,
time
and
you
I totally
talk,
forgot that you put it somewhere. Um,
I am, however, making sure that my sword stays on the opposite side of whichever side of me is pointing at this thing.
hmm.
Because hook horror arm.
Mr. Terry,
Yes, and all just the mouth and all 4 eyes just like look at you.
oh, okay. So do you have any backlogs? Do you like keep track of where they go? Can you find these people? I mean, you've got to like inject them with something to like make them metal or some. I don't know how it works, but
Well, yes. And he looks over at Robbie, who's still
Uh-oh.
fumed out. And he's like, "One moment," and he kind of he moves, and it's not. He's got feet, but he's not walking as much as he's like like he's walking on the moon, and it's like long floating skips, and he kind of like boing, floats over to the south door, and just takes one of his hands and just presses his hand into
He has
it.
hands?
He's got 10 of them, dude.
Oh.
He's got
Yeah,
10 hands
fingerprints.
on like an orbiting like ring around his waist.
I wish she walked like Mr. Krabs.
But his legs are like when you get a good look at them, they're pretty muscular for a dude who floats around.
He's gotta carry that weight.
But he kind of hops over the door, presses his hand out, and you hear this instead of the you hear just like the And there's a room beyond that looks like it looks like a dining hall almost. There's just a very long table, no chairs, and this is actually really well lit with torches along the wall. Very fancy. So, come in. Yes, I can explain the whole process to you if you'd like. Well, if you're here on an inspection, I should probably give you the whole inspection. I'm sorry,
it's been in that room.
It's been a very long time since I've had anybody visit that wasn't in charge.
And why should we trust you, Terry?
What do you mean?
Why
do you
should
think that I have not performed my task adequately?
I don't know.
Terry, I should cut you in half.
I don't think
character.
I don't think
Yeah,
you're
Okay. I was like, oh, does Terry get to make a perception check? Don't tempt me.
I don't think you're intentionally harming things. You're just doing your job. But somebody is not on the same page as you.
Who might that be?
Some humanoid figures that's a long story.
Perhaps you can tell me after the inspection.
Sure.
I think we should wait for our friend Robbie here to stop being all funky.
And like the eyes tick back to normal and he goes, hello.
Hello, Robbie.
Did I hear inspection? I would love to inspect this facility to see if things are performing as standard. And Terry's like, oh, yes, come in. And it's weird seeing he's gesturing in like, he's waving you guys in, but because all of the arms are in a ring, it's like he gestures and the arms are pivoting like 4 at a time to wave you guys in. It's really weird. It's like he's got a bed of, it's like he's got anemones around his waist. And they're like, come in. And he's just waving everybody in. And he walks in towards the room.
Is Robbie following him?
I am going to follow. I will be first in line.
I will follow behind that.
Yeah,
Talia's going to hold Ronan back for a second.
Okay.
I'll go in.
I was gonna say I'll go in whenever Thalia goes in.
Ronan,
Yes,
you said there were children with you.
there were
How many?
2. He's talking about the ones that, yeah.
What happened to the children?
They, well, that's a story. Our dwarf cleric electrocuted all of us and got the whatever it is that turns you to metal out of us, and it all went into him. And that's why he turned into a robot, and no one else did, I hope. I haven't checked on the other people.
I remember that much, but what happened to the children after that?
The children went with their parents.
Yep, we just sent them on their merry way.
They should. I think they were townsfolk of Longpike. I don't really know. Lami, do you know? Lythar?
Didn't we burn down their house?
I had no doings of burning down their house, thank you very much.
Didn't somebody burn down their house?
All right, well, I guess we should, keep up with the inspection.
Okay.
So as the rest of you kind of trickle into the room,
I'm not going in that room.
You're not going in?
I'm gonna stand at the doorway.
Okay.
Is it just me or are a lot of people blurry right now?
Yeah, it is.
The only people blurry for me is
I
see,
our
Blurry
DM and
Curtis.
Brandon.
I'm always
Yeah.
Same.
No, but
Curtis
this is
and
like-
Deeps.
Got me.
So it might be a Discord thing. Okay.
I think it's a Discord
Yeah.
thing.
They'll figure it out.
One day. They're a small indie company. They're definitely not making money. They're like that Blizzard company or whatever.
Oof.
So you guys walk in. With the exception of Thrall, and Cora actually does not walk into the room either.
Mm,
She walks up and she like puts her nose in the room and she's like takes a step back and like is sitting next to the door, poking her head in so she can kind of see what's going on, but she does not enter the actual doorway.
Then I'll stay. I'll go in the room, but I'm gonna stay as close to her / the door while being in the room as possible.
Okay. Yeah, this room's about 20 feet long and about probably 10 to 15 feet wide. It's just like there's a very long table. And Terry like kind of runs in and speeds up his ring of arms, just and like clears off a ton of dust off of this thing and just like fans it away. And he goes to the head of the table and he goes, "Welcome to my menagerie, as I like to call it. Here, I hope that," and as he's talking, most of his attention is pointed at Robbie, who is standing, he's got his hands behind his back, and he's just kind of standing, and he's just looking over, just kind of looking around the room. And Terry is just having this conversation. He goes, "There's at current note, we have well over 1,000 specimens here, all well taken care of for their own safety and for ours. In the last time since the inspection, there has been only one incident, which was only a few weeks ago, and that situation has been resolved quickly and quietly. The intake process. So, as you can see, we will have teams go out and acquire valid candidates. And as he's walking, he walks by the table, and like the center of the table starts to glow, and you see this diagram come up, and it is convoluted. It is not very clear what exactly it is, but Robbie seems to be following along very, very easily.
I'm just gonna point out and go, yes. Kind of nod.
Terry looks at you and goes, "Are you familiar with our intake process?"
I'm getting there. Do
Tell
I
me
have
to
to
second
roll
check,
it?
please.
Yep. Ooh!
I'm getting there.
Oh, that's in persuasion. Do I have a plus for anything?
Persuasion.
Plus 4, 22.
Okay. She's like, "Oh, excellent. I don't know who I'm supposed to give this meeting to anymore. I don't know which one of you knows more."
Definitely
We're
him.
good. Excellent. Very well. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And he starts going through this process. And the long and short of it is they send out teams to locate and acquire healthy specimens. And then they are captured inside those cubes. The more dangerous ones get captured inside the cubes. Some of them, depending on their size, are usually, and where they find them, are usually just carried in or teleported, depending on what the needs are. They're brought in, they are examined, and then they are tagged with the and he pulls out from a drawer next to the table, and he pulls out, it looks like a tube of kind of sludge, just like a very fine, dark metallic sludge. And he goes, "And they're injected with these, which according to Terry keeps them basically frozen in time. Their body does not undergo any processes that cause them to age." Kendrick, I'm going to mute you real quick. That's obnoxious.
I don't hear anything coming from Kendrick, just his little light keeps flickering on and
I
off.
think he turned his AC on.
It is AC. Yeah, I'm
Sounds
just
like
getting
an air conditioner.
we had a lot of just like steady
Static.
hum noise from that. Yeah, I was like, I don't like that at all.
That was terrifying because I was in the bathroom when you said that. Like, my mic is not with me.
I can tell.
My AC's been on the entire time, but I
think it was just when you weren't in here, we could hear it. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
it was just auto sensing that noise. So anyway, they are effectively locked into their biological age. Their aging process is incredibly slowed, if not stopped, and they are kept here comfortably in as close to their natural habitat as we can replicate. And then, if they are to escape, as evidenced by that breach, the injection allows us to track relative location, encouraging them to come home. And if they get far enough away, they metallicize, and we can send a recovery crew out to get them, as evidenced by the hippogriff that you guys saw just get carried down into the hole at the bottom of the summoning circle.
Terry, do you mind if I could I have a sample of this?
Of the tracking agent?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
He kind of looks at Robbie and looks over at Ryan. It's like, I normally this is not supposed to leave the premises. But if that's, and Robbie just kind of standing there just goes, yes, give him what he requests. And Terry's like, yes, sir. And he kind of bows, which is hard to do when you're a sphere. And he's like, yes. And he runs over to one of the walls, and just like his hands kind of move around, and then just like, yes, here. And reaches in and like pops open a panel, closes the panel, and he goes, here. And he hands you probably about 3 ounces in a sealed test tube. I goes, here you go, sir. Please try not to don't drink it. I'm sorry, that's just a little joke of mine. Don't drink it, and try not to don't inject it into too many things. This would be enough to track or isolate something about the size of your large friend here. And he points over at Ronan. Also, don't get it on silk. It takes years for it to come out. And the eyes kind of look around the room for a laugh. And seeing he's not getting it, he's like, "Thank you, sir." And he goes, "So that's the intake process. Would you like to see? I'd offer you a tour of the rest of our facility, but unfortunately, we've had a breach in one of the lower levels, and we are currently working on getting that resolved. But it seems to be a difficult breach to resolve."
Another breach, or is this the breach that you lost the hippogriffs?
This is a different breach.
Oh no.
The breach with the hippogriffs has been that entranceway has been sealed. The incursion route has been closed, and fortunately, they will not be able to use that path again. This one, unfortunately, came from below our facility.
So, like, Terry's running around. Do I notice that he's like damaged or like anything like that?
Give me an insight. Investigation. If you're watching him like kind of frolic.
Okay.
As he frolics.
I freaking pitched it across the room. Hold on.
Easy.
Took it a bing.
Investigate. I have a +6 to investigation. Gosh, that is a 24.
So he looks fine. He looks like there's he looks a little. There's definitely parts of where it looks like he's been running around, and like he doesn't look pristine and shiny. But other than that, there's no battle damage. There's no like. He doesn't look like he's been beaten up at all.
Gotcha.
Are you looking for anything in particular, or
not really?
Just
I was just wondering. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely he's carrying himself like he's just a guy who just got a surprise inspection dropped on him, and he's like, "Oh shit."
Gotcha.
So he's around and goes, "Actually, And he starts looking at all of you with the eyes, and Robbie goes, "What kind of incursion? Have they also been exposed to any of this solution?" Terry goes, "No. They haven't. They haven't gotten into any of the habitat spaces yet. But actually," and the eyes kind of look around at all of you. You all handled the Mind Flayer specimen, correct? Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
Excellent. Well, I was going to reach out to my nanodrone, and request some help. But perhaps you can help.
I mean, maybe have your own people do it. We don't work for you.
Are you not the people that would receive this request?
If you're asking us to like go find the things that you've lost, I mean, I'm all for getting the information to do it, but
Nothing has been lost. There is just a breach in the lower levels that needs to be sealed.
What breached it?
I do not know. All of my scouting teams have been damaged in attempts to find out what exactly caused this breach.
Well, what was down there that could have gone out? What could actually?
He said there was thousands of creatures here. I thought it could be anything.
You don't understand.
Him.
Nothing has broken out.
Something broke
Something
in.
has broken in.
Maybe we should go and investigate then.
I think we definitely should. Anything else that exits this facility, I think we need to like make sure it doesn't get out anymore.
Robbie, what do you think?
Robbie is looking at this enormous graph, this enormous like schematic, and he's starting to like kind of pace around. He's looking at it. Terry, and he looks at all four eye stalks snap over and he goes, "What's in the tracing solution?" Terry's like, well, you should, are you not in this part of the network? Robbie goes, "No. Is there anything in the solution related? Is there anything in the solution that could change and prevent something from just metallicizing and staying still?" Actually, I'm gonna make real quick. Cool. So Terry's looking at Robbie and he's like, and the fingers start to fidget a little bit in the eyes. Like one of the eyes stays locked on Robbie and the other one's kind of just like dart around the room. He, like, if any correlation of body language, he's super duper nervous. The fact that Robbie like kind of pulled rank on him, and he doesn't know what the hell's going on. Terry's like, well, I mean, there's the magical component of this in a sufficient concentration. You would need the concentration you put into like 6 people put into one individual in order to get any kind of adverse reaction to it. There's no way that would happen in a controlled facility like this. And there's no way for no one else has this. And he just like, there's no way that someone would. Why? Robbie doesn't say anything. He just keeps staring him down.
Josh, you're muted.
So there's this super tense kind of standoff in the.
Somebody might have access to your magic goo, though I'm not sure who.
Robbie's head and Terry's eyes just it's so quiet you can hear like the mechanics turning and looking right at Lami.
God
And at
damn
the
it.
same time they both just go, what?
Well, you've got people breaking in here all the time. Who's to say that they haven't grabbed some?
Define it's not all the time.
We're in here. Somebody else just broke in here. That's 2 in one day.
You have a point.
You are not a breach. You are being escorted by an agent of the Primus. That is not a breach, that is a surprise inspection.
We went in here before without an agent, and Ronan here has been in here a long time.
You what? And all the eyes like point in at you, and they start. The hands all like kind of the hands all turn to fists.
Go stand in front of Lami and be like, what he means is we were waiting around for a long time, and that it feels like we have been here before.
But Ronan, we have been here before.
Give me a
I'm
deception
gonna
check and
grab
disadvantage.
his face. Son of a bitch.
I'm gonna step out of the room because I'm right by the door. So I'm just gonna sneakily like.
That's
Take a step.
14.
14. Okay. Terry starts to float up towards the ceiling, not in like a. He's just like. It was you.
What was us?
You got them out.
I mean, we didn't mean to let the face tentacle boy out, but
No, not that. There were 3 of you.
Yes.
That was you 3 weeks ago, and you left with the humans.
Yes.
And one Goliath, as I recall. I remember wondering why you weren't in the section you were supposed to be in. Those recall commands stopped about 15 cycles after you left. I was wondering how you'd gotten out of it.
just lucky, I guess.
You see, we knew nothing. We were paid to find some missing children, and we found them.
What's Robbie doing?
Robbie is still staring at Lami.
Jesus Christ.
And Robbie holds up his hand and grabs one of Terry's arms and like spins him around so the mouth is facing him. And Robbie points his hand, his regular hand, just points his finger and lets out that same screech, that same distant metallic digital screech. And Terry's eyes like kind of they blink super rapidly and like and the hands slowly, one at a time, all 10 of them release. And when Robbie lets go of the last one, it relaxes. Well, the past is the past, and that cannot be helped. However, we still have the current underground incursion. I will be happy to provide any assistance you may need, but this is outside of my capability to handle. They have dealt with everything that I have at my disposal to wrangle them. I'm not looking to capture anyone, I'm merely looking to seal this breach and solve this. Will you please help? And he said, when he says please, the word sounds rusty in his mouth, like it's not a word he uses often. He just has to like kind of work his way around the word to say it. And I think that's a great place for break.
Okay.
I'll leave y'all to mull and think of questions or anything else you might have. But let's take a 10, everybody.
Josh,
What?
please tell me your decisions are entirely intentional.
I'm
You're
playing
not
the character, homie.
Okay, good. I was going to say, please don't tell me you're actually this much of a dingus.
I'm playing a character. I've got a negative
is his
intelligence score.
that low?
It's -1.
What's
It's
the
an
total
he's
score?
slightly dumber than your average con.
Oh, God.
So I wouldn't trust him to make change.
Intelligent
Let's
base.
continue.
So, we're back. Welcome back. You were all just asked very nicely by hell is he?
A dodecahedron.
A decaton. He's not a dodecahedron. He is not a 20
Almost
sided.
got him to say it though.
He's a decaton named Carrie, who is his
Megaton.
to seal an incursion in the lower portions of his menagerie.
I mean, we can help you, Mr. Terry, but I'm not even sure if you know what currency is, but our services do not come for free.
What do you mean?
There should be some kind of reward for what we're doing for you.
Is it not? It is my duty to report this. Is it not your duty to seal this incursion?
Technically, no, that is not in my job description. I am not a breach sealer.
That's not in my resume.
He looks over at Robbie and he goes, "Is that not why you came here? Did you not know of the breach when you arrived?" Robbie goes, "No, we did not. However, compensation will be required for me not to report."
Oh,
If you wish to
he's
keep your
bribing
record-
Terry.
If you wish to keep your record, how do you say, clean, we will require compensation.
We wouldn't want the. I'm trying to think of a replacement for OSHA.
The health
Megan.
inspector.
I'm trying to think of a replacement for OSHA. I can't.
I was going to give him advantage for you backing him up, but we're not going to do that.
Okay.
We just cost him his advantage. Thanks, buddy. So Terry's like, what would you like?
Chris, what is happening?
Did you turn a fan on?
Hmm?
Did you turn a fan on?
It's a space heater. It doesn't seem to
Oh.
pick it up unless I'm talking, though.
It only did at first.
No, it
Now-
only
Yeah,
did it when you
at
turned it
first
on.
It was like
It's pretty wild.
Sorry.
Reset.
It's all good.
that was Terry's response. I give you heat.
All right, I'm sorry. Continue.
And Terry looks at Elder and goes, what kind of compensation do you need to make sure this is done quietly?
He's looking at me, or he's looking at Robbie.
Kind of everybody. Like, mostly at Robbie. Or he looks at Robbie, and Robbie looks to all of you.
I mean, gold works quite nicely, but I'm not quite sure if you're familiar with the concept down here. It seems a bit outlandish for you, considering you just steal people. But if you have any stuff that's pretty nice, we would also accept nice stuff.
Is Josh a robot for anyone else?
Yeah.
He's been
Okay.
realized.
Discord's having an issue.
He's been infected.
Discord's having a bad time.
He's been infected.
He's
Put him
infected.
down. Put him down.
I stab Lami in the tail.
Oh god.
In the tail.
Fun fact: the tail does not fit inside the plate.
Ooh. I'll
There you
write
go,
that
White
down
Dog.
for
That's how you
later.
get him when he picks you up.
They do grow back though, like geckos. No, just kidding.
Stab him in the
Slice.
tail.
Slice it off.
Terry, what if you promise to stop capturing intelligent life forms like people and kenkus and all those important people?
All those important people.
Can you what is your definition of intelligence?
It's a tough question.
This
What
is a
about
question-
rather than just capturing potential assets, you for the sentient ones, other than obviously harmful creatures, like the hippogriffs, you provide sentient assets a choice. You explain that they would be cared for and live out the rest of their days in safety, and then explain your mission. And those who disagree would be allowed to return back to their lives, and those who agree to help you with your mission would be provided for.
Or you could just give us some really cool stuff because I'm
Mommy.
sure.
I can, from an outside perspective, can appreciate what you're asking. However, that raises additional problems and reduces efficiency drastically. There is a very long vetting process, and finding suitable candidates that volunteer reduces that to almost nothing. And despite our best efforts to explain the various world-ending apocalypses that could happen at any moment, they tend to want to stay. And the ones who would volunteer to be the saviors of their species, we find unsuitable for the task, largely because they want to be the savior of their species. You see the conundrum here. An intelligent species that could self-propagate and restore balance will not willingly be put in a position where they can do that. And those that want to do that are not suited for self-propagation. It's unfortunately a feedback loop that we've been dealing with for a redacted number of years. Bobby goes, redacted? Please provide actual information. He's like, sorry, sir. Several thousand years we've been struggling with this. And we have not found a solution other than what has been most efficient. We did ask for a long time. And unfortunately, we were unable to achieve results.
Sorry.
I ask again, where is your line on intelligence? Am I intelligent?
You seem intelligent.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome. I curtsy. That is a 12.
He just stares at you, like, he just stares quietly, just goes,
Well, look, Mr. Terry, regardless of our desires for you to stop doing this, I'm sure down here you have some shiny objects, maybe useful and shiny objects, that we would very much take off your hands if you don't mind.
If you want gold, I have no need for it.
Oh, you do know what gold is? Because you still have not answered on this question.
I do know what gold is. I understand that it is a human and it is a concept of wealth. Wealth has no interest to me.
Well,
I'm
if
here
you
for
don't
the
need it, we'll take it all off you. We'll get all this junk right out.
I don't have
Spring cleaning, get it right out.
It is summer by your calendar. It is midwinter by the planar calendar, but I don't believe you discovered that.
It's a saying, Terry. What do you mean it's winter? The trees are green.
So,
according to your calendar, it is summer.
So Terry, the humans that you had before, one, sorry we didn't ask nicely. We didn't know. And also, I wandered in. No one got me to go in there. I just stumbled in there. So that's why I was in the wrong spot. That being said, have you tried capturing, of the sentient smart people, have you tried only taking, like, I don't know, the mean ones? Ones who have perhaps robbers or steely people or murderers? People who would harm the general people.
Yes.
How did
For
that
about
go?
200 years.
Hmm.
When they were introduced to each other in their habitation pods, they killed each other. For 200 years.
That's a long time.
The attempt was made in the instance of the most recent, the acquisition that you released. The attempt was made to keep a familial unit together in the hopes that they would support each other through this time. Unfortunately, we've had mixed results with that, and the most recent group seemed to be fairly successful until they were released.
See, but people don't like that. I don't like that. It's against basic... Boy, I'm trying not to use big words here.
What's the big word?
Like
Because I
the
feel like
natural law. Like,
that's not that big of a word. You hang out with
It's
hang
two
out with the
words.
bard.
I do. I hang out with the bard.
with Thalia. That sounds like something that she might have mentioned.
People are not
You can correct me if I'm wrong.
property. People are meant to be free and do what they want to do. That's what makes them people.
And no matter what you say, he's still going to do what he wants. We do not control.
Robbie goes, no, but perhaps I can help. And he reaches up and grabs one of the eye stalks, and all of the eyes look, and he looks, and his eyes, real quick, perfect. He looks, and his eyes, one of them starts glowing white, and the other starts glowing black. And he opens his mouth, and that screech happens again. And this time, it resonates out of his chest and forward and catches Terry. And Terry opens his mouth and screeches back and something is happening between these two. And like kind of peters out for both of them. Terry kind of shakes his eye stalks, and Robbie lets him go and takes a step back with his cannon out, and he draws his sword. He goes, where is this incursion, Terry? And Terry's eye, like the eye that was grabbed, is now just black. And he goes, I understand. Here. This will guide you. And from outside the room, you hear a greetings and salutations.
No.
There is a Modron standing in the center of the ring, standing there, just his arms at his sides, kind of looking around.
They
Mommy, don't step on
stand?
it.
I thought they were Spooter-like.
Spiders are still standing, even though they have all the legs.
Yeah, but he
He's
said
not
arms
on
at his
all
side,
fours.
so he's on his
not
two
on all
little
fours.
back.
He's like,
He's on his two little back legs with his whole. Okay.
they aren't like the armature.
He's Mike
for them.
Wazowskiing it. Is what you're saying.
He's more like Mike Wazowski in this moment. Yes,
Okay.
Oh, I sent a gift of him a while ago.
you did. You were
And it
ahead of
was
the game.
adorable.
Maybe Mike.
And Terry goes, he will take you to the site of the incursion. And if there's anything else I can do to assist you, I would be more than happy to. Is there any
Thank
questions?
you, Terry. I think we'll just go ahead and follow the bug now.
Robbie,
Please
what do you
don't
want to do?
squish this one.
They're very squishable. They make a very satisfying, crunchy noise.
Yes, but they are hard to get replacements quickly.
They're kind of dicks, though.
And the arms are reaching up and like feeling the eye, feeling the stalk in the eye, and this one eye is just black. The other three eyes are fine.
Robbie, what would you like to do?
Robbie wants to go to solve this problem.
Probably
So
with his cannon and sword starts walking down through this doorway, and he goes, "This incursion cannot be allowed to persist. Simply for the fact that if something else escapes, we will have larger problems. I would like to put down this incursion quickly." And see it.
I agree, and I'm gonna follow Robbie.
Can I insight Robbie?
What do you give me an insight check? Tell me what you're looking for.
I want to know if he seems like his normal Robbie self, or if he has like become un-Robbie.
Can I insight?
Robbie.
Everyone's a robot. Holy shit! Everyone
This
sounds
is
like
Oh
Robbie.
no! Oh
Yeah,
no!
Discord's not having a very good time tonight.
That's rough.
Insight
Okay, I think we're
17.
17. Okay. He has shifted. You've seen him. You've heard this particular timbre of his voice. He's no longer the inquisitive, hello, like kind of seeing the world and experiencing it with you guys. He has shifted into his body language has shifted, his the way he's walking, the way he's looking around, he's shifted into. And what's everybody's passive insight out of curiosity?
That's
11,
10.
11 still.
10.
13.
So Thrall. So everyone who got a 12 or higher, including you, Ronan, when Robbie pulled his gun and his sword, his entire kind of not his biology, his stance, the way he's walking, the way he's carrying himself has shifted from more C-3PO to like he's a soldier, he's a fighter. And Thrall, you recognize that he's just shifted into like the way he's shifted, his sword is out and he looks like a soldier.
He's not Robbie anymore. He's a Robert.
Jesus.
He's gone full
I
body.
am Superman.
But he's determined, and you realize they've seen him like a couple of times when he needs to get his point across. His voice will shift into like that commanding timbre. Now he is like that commanding timbre is basically his entire way he's walking, and he's making a beeline towards the Modron in the center of the circle.
I'm gonna follow Robert.
Okay. done the full Bobby. Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Terry before y'all leave the room?
Nope.
I'm just gonna say, boy, Terry, think about what I said. Don't take smart people. And I'll leave.
I'm gonna poke my head back into the room really quick and just be like, where do we find you after we take care of this?
He's still like feeling up at his one blacked eye. And Robbie goes, do not worry. He won't be going anywhere. Is that correct? And Robbie's like, yes. Or Terry's like, yes. I'll be here.
Dude, the pain I'm imagining is like when your eye's really itchy and you rub it really hard and then your literal eyeball hurts. I'm feeling this like on a personal level.
What do you do to your eyeball, Kendrick?
Yeah.
Have you
so
never
what?
You've never like legit like
I'm
my
worried
eyes
about you,
closed
buddy.
like and like it hurts?
If you push really hard,
Yeah, sometimes when I first wake up I'm like, "Ah," and then I'm like, ow.
And that doesn't happen to me.
First thing in the morning.
I don't do that.
Well,
I don't.
do,
I don't
so
like
I'll-
dirt in my
I'll
eyeball.
rub my
I'll go
eyes.
to Terry. Scary Terry's in pain.
Scary Terry.
I'll leave whenever Thalia leaves.
I'm gonna. I'll tell Ronan I'll just kind of motion for Ronan to go out the door, and I just want to take one last look at Terry and everything inside that room.
I go
before
out the
heading
door.
I'm just following Robbie. We're going on a killing spree.
Okay. So Robbie has walked over and has picked up this Modron and is holding it in his hand. He's like, unit, where are we going? And the Modron is like, greetings and salutations. He goes, yes, where are we going?
Oh shit.
He's like, oh, that way. And he points out towards where he points east, where, if we remember from last episode, is the very long walk down that hallway that leads to the collapsed chute.
The dark, scary things hallway.
Very long, long hallway that leads to the collapsed chute, is where you guys came in the first time.
Yes.
And that way, and Robbie goes, excellent. Everyone, please keep up. He kicks on his daylight eyes and starts walking.
I'm gonna follow him right behind him.
Is everyone out of Terry's room?
I think Thalia was the last one to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Were you looking for anything specific, Thalia, or were you just throwing a quick peek back?
Just taking another look.
He's still like up on the far end of the wall, and he's still like cradling his eye, like his damaged eye. He's cradling it with a couple of his hands, and the large schematic is starting to turn and just like it's still just rotating in the center of the room. And as you leave, the door does not shut behind. The door stays open.
I'm gonna kind of like follow Robbie and be like, Robbie, what the heck did you do to Terry, man?
As he's walking, I ensured that he would think twice before taking intelligent, sentient creatures. Is that not what we wanted?
It is. It is.
Good.
How many? Maybe you know this, but how many menageries are there out in the world?
I do
Terry
not know
told
exactly.
us.
He just said several.
I thought he said there are 3 others. I could be wrong, though.
I do not know exactly how many there are. However, I hope that this lesson makes its way to the others, and they make adjustments. I hope that is satisfactory.
If not, our new campaign name is the Menagerie Hunters.
Let's go get Hydra, team.
Yeah.
So, after a brief moment of glory, Stand by. Map time.
Yeah.
While mapping is happening, I was gonna be like, Robbie, so you're on board with the fact that this isn't cool, as they would say.
I feel that it is an adequate temperature here.
I mean, this isn't right that he's keeping like sentient life down here against their will. I mean, that's basically slavery. Do you not know what it's cool means?
I break his neck.
It's gonna be real hard. He has a metal neck.
His head just spins around like an owl. Just keeps looking at you.
If you wanted me to turn around, all you had to do was ask. He kind of looks at you, Thrall, or not Thrall, Ronan. Which one are you? Which one are you? Fucking.
I'm Ronan.
Well,
He
he
looks-
looks so small. We pictured that. Sorry, I just looked up and saw. Wait.
He looks at you, Ronan, as he's walking, and he goes, "I understand what it means to not have agency."
Does Ronan know what that word means? Because Chris doesn't.
That's a really good indicator.
I have a lot of big numbers, Chris. Don't worry. I don't know what that is in real life.
An
Do you want to
agency
know what
is...
that means?
Yes, I want to know what that means.
All right, I also Chris in real life, but agency, like it, when you have agency, it's when you have like free will, action. You know, you have control over your actions and stuff like that.
Oh.
Sports ball. I don't know if that relates at all.
Okay.
Sounds like it does.
Yeah, so like having free agency means that you can go do things. You are free to do kind of whatever you want.
You can follow Tom Brady to the Buccaneers if you want. Watch how many people try that.
I watch it. Yeah, sports. Anyway,
Sorry.
so as you guys are walking, he says this to you. He says this to you, Ronan, as you guys are traipsing down. It's a very long hallway. And he says that and then stops talking and continues walking down this hallway. You have like 45 minutes of walking ahead of you, so he does not say a lot.
So just to be clear, he seems on board with the fact that this seems wrong and we should not be cool with this. That's
Give
what
me
I'm...
an insight
Yes.
check.
God damn it.
Destroyed the dude's.
He grabbed his
He
eyeball.
did. 13.
You good, buddy?
I actually thought that was like a suction cup, not your
I
headphones. Oh
didn't
my
realize.
god.
What was your insight check?
13.
He
Seems like a robot.
Robert.
he's not
Now I'm Hellboy.
aside from what he said and what he
God damn.
did
Hmm.
to Terry, you're not getting anything off.
Oh, God!
Deeps.
Josh, you with me?
Sorry.
I'm here.
Okay, great. It's like I hope Josh didn't fall asleep in his chair.
No, I was reading something. Sorry.
No, he turns his camera off if he's gonna fall asleep.
No, he doesn't.
It only happened one time.
It only happened one time.
So you guys traipse your way. Are there any other conversation you guys want to have on your way out? That was great. Yes.
I would like to try, even if Robbie isn't talking back, I want to try to explain to him what "it's cool" means through this whole walk.
Okay.
It's like teaching the Terminator how to say "Hasta la vista, baby." That's basically what I'm envisioning here.
It's a little quicker than you would have thought, because I believe a couple you remember him saying the phrase "Don't kink shame me, bro." A couple of weeks ago, and you're like, "Oh, how hard can it be to teach him like it's cool means like everything's all right, great." And so you're able to do so, and he seems pretty fucking cool with it.
God, I wish we knew other things. It would be hilarious if I could teach him to say like "that's lit" or something like that.
Shit's lit.
Shit's lit, fam.
So you guys come after your 45-minute walk of mostly silence
Sweet
with,
deal.
with the Modron providing instructions. You guys come to the chute where you guys had been previously. Still full of rocks. And the Modron, like a tour guide, is like, and here is this is the ceiling of a previous intrusion to prevent other people from intruding in the future. This may be necessary to close the current intrusion. Shall we continue?
I think we shall.
Sure.
And they trips forward. And about 50 feet down the hallway, you come to a door. You shouldn't have that. You shouldn't see that one yet, because I'm good at my job. Y'all come to a door. It's that familiar, like, 4-finger lock door. And Robbie just walks up to it. And the door just slips open. And for some of you, it's a very familiar room. Door to the north, door to the south, another doorway.
Where do we go, oh Modron man?
Oh, Modron, man.
The Modron goes, the incursion is not in this room. However, give me one moment to confirm that this room is sealed. Around the room. Excellent. We may continue.
Can I see? Is it bright? Is there?
Robbie's
got his
Oh, okay. Cool.
high
There
beams
is-
on.
Yeah, his brights are on. And so they walk over to a door on the east wall. Yes, east.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
that door slides open, and that hallway takes this immediate turn, starts heading south.
Sooth.
South
That
Comes
doesn't
down.
make sense.
to another room. And this door, again, Robbie moseys right up to it and just open. Walk into a very large room.
Is this also familiar?
This is familiar to the people who had been in here previously. A pair of doors to the north and south, and a door to the east. The motor goes, this is the furthest the intrusion has come. Nothing has gotten past this room. However, we do not know if this is as far as they've come. I suggest looking around here. May I go? Robbie just looks and goes, is there any other information you have? The eunuch goes, no. Good. And walks over to this door, sets the Modron down, and shuts the door. So, this room is about 50 by 60. The pair of doors to the north and south.
What's to our west? Is that also a door?
Correct. That is another
Okay.
door. These doors have these doors are slightly fancier than the other ones, and they seem to have some kind of coloration to them. Do
Why
people
don't
want
we-
to?
Why don't we all split up like groups too? We'll all
No.
go to a door. Just no, in this room, we'll all go to a door and then see if there's anything weird around the door. We're all in the same room.
Lythar, if we open this door and it's anything like the other doors we've opened, and a whole bunch of monsters come out at once, it'll be a bad time. I think we should open them one at a time.
We don't have to open the doors. I'm saying go near them and we'll take turns opening doors.
I go to the north door.
Okay.
I feel like
Or-
we should
Go
just
to the north.
investigate the room. Okay.
I'm gonna. Does the door look
That's what I was
familiar
trying
to
say,
me?
like investigate different areas of the room so we don't spend 2 hours investigating the same thing.
I mean, it has to, and it'll take 2 hours for us all to investigate everything separately anyway, because of how it works. I would like to investigate the north door. Does it seem
North door?
odd? Is that where I came from?
Nope.
You came.
Did I come from the west?
It came from the east.
West.
That way? Okay.
East.
Those of you who have been here before, the 3 of you,
Mhm.
know that this door over here leads to where. Actually, everyone who's been here before, give me a history check.
Whee! Ooh,
Ooh, nice. 19.
10.
Cool.
I was excited for a 10.
What's my history? +1? Yeah, I got
So-
a 17.
So the 2 of you who've been here and actually remember going in this way know that in here was the room where the hook horror was to the south,
Mm-hmm.
the 2 pairs of humans, and that's where you found Ronan.
Are we sure through that door is where we're gonna find a breach?
As the guy who rolled as the guy who rolled the 19, you remember this layout, and you don't know because the Modron has been evicted from the room.
Right.
So I'm gonna look at Lamy and just be like, "You remember this, right? This Ronan. We found our buddy over there,
We found Ronan through that door,
and then the hook.
and if I remember, the other door to the
made scary sounds. Remember? And then,
I think it was the door to the north had some hippogriffs in it. Is that the right door?
I think
Robbie,
that's
do the
separate.
doors say anything? Do they have like nameplates like the other doors did?
Robbie has been kind of started in this corner of the room and has been working his way over. And when he gets to this door, he's right up against it and he goes, "Yes, this one says hippogriffs." And there's nothing in that room.
Oh, because we let them out that one time.
But they just brought the one back, so where'd it go?
They probably just didn't put it back.
Not here.
It's not there
Oh my
yet.
God.
Yeah.
So
propose
are
we
the
try the southern door, but Robbie seems to know where he's going better than any of us.
Robbie is like by himself, like scanning up and down these walls, like a stone by stone.
Stone
what'd you
by
say,
stone, brick by brick.
so are the doors with the humans? Are they also in that room? Or were the humans? I guess.
They were in there.
No, they're
Can-
in the door to the east, and I'll point.
Can I
Not
go
east,
check
west.
out-
It's west.
Can I go check out those doors for any
We've-
like?
We've already
belongings
released the
or anything?
humans.
Yeah. When you walk up to it, I'm assuming Frank is sticking close to you, but as you walk
Yeah.
up, you see this hallway that jokes about 20 feet up and then kicks over into another door. And as you kind of mosey in here, you see that all of the doors in this section are already open. And there appears to be nothing inside. There's what looks like claw marks near the south door. Like large gouges in the floor and the walls. And on the sides of the room inside. But all 3 of these rooms are empty. Or all
Gotcha.
4 of these rooms are just empty.
Well, doesn't look like there's anything in there. We should try one of the other doors.
Hey Curtis, with
Yes.
my successful history roll,
Mhm.
could I also make like a survival roll to see if there's any like not even necessarily tracks, but just like scratches or like anything that I would be able to differentiate from what I know already happened here.
With your history, with your successful history check, I'll give you advantage on an
Okay.
investigation check to survey the room.
An investigation check.
Correct.
Okay.
Uh-oh. What happened?
He's in the head. He'll be
Did that
back.
just change the order of everything?
Yeah, it did.
It did.
I shifted
Yeah,
over
holy
one.
shit.
It did, so that'll be real annoying if I ever make us look real pretty.
Thanks, Discord.
So that's a dirty 20.
Okay. So, in this room, or are you over here? Where are you looking off to?
I haven't really gone off too far since we
Okay.
first walked in.
So as everyone is kind of starting to look around and you kind of are working your way through and you're looking around and you realize that something's funky. Ooh. Come here, you. Something's funky in this corner. South. Yeah.
In the south corner?
In this your corner here.
And there's not
Something's
a door there, correct?
correct. It looks like one of the large wall stones. That's probably like a 4x4 square. It looks like there's a corner of it that is abraded. So instead of being a perfect square, the top right corner of one of these tiles is rounded off. And it looks like something is like either chipped away at it or something's funky. We shifted back again. Weird.
Is Robbie still in the same room?
Robbie is working his way across the north wall. And then is starting to work his way down this side.
So I'm going to approach this oddly not perfectly rectangular brick thing. And I'm going to call out to Robbie and ask him to help me take a look at this or see what he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
If it could be a trap door or just something, a scuffle that happened.
Okay. Give me while he's walking over. You think you see the light from his eyes. He turns over and the light starts shining, and you see that the light is going through this little rounded off corner. And there's darkness beyond. The light's not just pinging off the wall and kicking back. There's there's something behind this panel. He comes over and goes, "What is it?" "Oh. Would you like me to move it?"
Should we just punch it in so we have a little hole so we can see? Or do you mean the whole wall? What do you mean? What are you capable of?
He gets down and looks and takes his hand and he taps on the stone. He goes, "Unless I am mistaken, this appears to be hollow. There is nothing on the other side of this panel. I believe we have found our incursion."
So
Ronan.
we need to open the wall.
"Ronan,
Yes.
can you help move this?"
Sure.
And he looks directly at you with the eyes.
So, look up. Look up.
He looks up and he goes, Could you help me with this?"
Sure. Just don't look directly at me. It's very hard for me to see.
I'm very sorry."
It's okay.
And he keeps his eyes up at the ceiling and takes a couple of steps over so you have room to work.
Okay. Am I yanking this out? Am I pushing it down? What would you like?
What would you? Are you asking Robbie?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I cannot see which way it opens, but it appears to be open.
Do I see the hole in the wall?
You see that the edge of that corner has been rounded off, and it looks like there would be room for someone like Maury to get his hand in there to pull something. For you, it'd be like a couple of fingertips to wedge it in there.
You could try elbowing it. Or shoulder
I'm
bumping it.
gonna see first if I can get a grip on anything to pull on it, and if that doesn't work, I have other things in mind.
Please don't be what I was scared of thinking of. Because I was glad he asked you. and not
So
Robbie.
you're not gonna need to roll. What's your dex?
14 plus 2.
You're able to work a finger in there, and once you kind of start wiggling, and you get your finger in a little further. Wink.
This is.
God damn it!
As you're flexing it to try and get it in, and then it's just whiff. And this,
As you do the come here motion.
The stone pops out
Ooh.
and swings open.
Popped it.
Jesus Christ.
On an interior hinge,
Oh.
Fuck no smash.
and there's no and Lythar and kind of everyone who's looking at it, you notice that it doesn't. There's a hinge on both on the inside and then at the bottom. It's actually a perfectly smooth cut, so it's not the whole bottom of the stone is swinging open, so there's no scraping along the floor. Maury, you know that is tricky to do with stone. That is not something like this is a professional stonework to make this door.
It's the door to Durganvor.
I need to stop ever saying that word.
I was waiting for somebody to say it.
Do we
So yeah,
see
y'all are-
anything in there with Robbie's flashlight head?
Robbie's still staring at the ceiling.
Robbie, look in the hole. Look in the hole, Robbie.
And the with this open, you see that it's a tunnel that goes about.
Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel.
It's a, like,
I love that song.
it's about a 4 foot wide by 4 foot high tunnel.
Can Maury fit in the
Oh God.
It's 4 by 4. You all could fit through it. However, you could not move quickly through it.
Maury could though.
Maury could truck right along.
I'm gonna do one of those. Hey,
Let's have a
buddy.
But
burglar
the
take a
tunnel
look.
goes probably 15 feet and then starts curving. It goes 15 feet south and then starts curving off this way.
So I'm gonna look at Maury. Though. I got an idea. Don't freak out.
What, are you gonna make me go first because I'm short? Is that what you're telling me right now?
No. Yes. But
I'm not short.
I didn't say you were short.
I'm gonna start angrily
I mean-
putting together my chicken.
Before
You're
you
rather
assemble
short
your
compared to
cock-
some people.
What if you crawl in and only
doesn't have
go
to crawl.
what if you get in and only go to about where the corner is and it bends and see if you can see anything before going all the way, and then you could relay the information back to us and we'll go from there.
Okay, and then I push like a button on the side of my chicken, and it's gonna glow for about like a 5 feet radius. I'm gonna use magical tinkering,
Excellent.
Oh hell yeah.
and then
Excellent. Artificer doing artificer things.
I'm gonna send my chicken in first, and then I'm gonna follow in behind it.
Okay. So, Maury, as you start making your way through this tunnel, it's almost it's not quite perfectly sized for you, but like this is are you a fan of being underground?
I am a rock gnome, so yes.
Okay, so this is
Rock, no.
easy
It's
breezy.
cozy.
It was always Josh.
He's always just like
What do you mean it
it's
wasn't a cat?
he's been underground. Like you've been underground. You're kind of at home, and that's kind of the thing you keep telling yourself. You're like, it's just like a home. It's just like a home. And you get around the corner, and this tunnel kind of extends out, and you meet your chicken at this curve, and it just kind of keeps curving out, and it starts to actually descend around a corner that you can't see.
I guess I'm just gonna keep on going.
Okay.
Do you want some company?
Maybe that's probably a good idea.
I mean, I'm probably the next shortest person.
It's less, and it's wide enough to crawl through.
Yeah.
All of you could fit through this tunnel. The big dudes would have a trickier time crawling through it. It would take them a while, and they'd be pretty tired at the end of it. But you could all squeeze through it. Thalia, if you start crawling, you'll be able to catch up to Maury and keep on trekking.
Yeah, I'll try to catch up.
Okay.
What did the south door say?
Robbie is currently ogling the hole.
Robbie, could you read that south door?
He looks. It appears to say Hellhound.
Do I know what a hellhound is?
I feel like it's almost self-explanatory.
Is that like storybook kind of scary thing?
When it was a thing that you heard mothers and grandmothers say to their kids, like, "Oh, if you don't come inside right now, the hellhounds will get you," and the kids run back inside because they don't know any better. You'd always thought of them as a rumor, but apparently there's 4 of them in the south door.
Oh. Okay. Cool.
Maury, are you waiting for Thalia to catch up?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys meet up and start trekking along, and your chicken keeps on moseying down this entranceway. And you realize as the tunnel starts to curve, the two of you realize that this is starting to look less like a natural cave.
Here we go.
Like something chiseled this out. Maury, give me a perception check.
See if it was friendly rock gnomes doing rock gnome things.
That is a 13.
Okay.
Alcatraz.
You're pretty sure that you hear voices
Okay.
up ahead.
Okay.
Thalia, maybe this is a bad idea. We should probably get everybody.
I can message people.
Yeah, I think there might be other things ahead. Can hear
They're
things.
speaking Gnomish.
All right, you listen. I'll start messaging everyone.
They're speaking Gnomish, but it's weird dialect.
It's like mushroom gnome, not rock
They
gnome.
don't sound.
Mushroom gnome.
They don't sound like
It's Toad.
the gnomes you're used to. They're not. They don't sound like Reggie. They sound
Toad.
heavy, like almost dwarvish, but it's definitely gnomish. And you hear them arguing about is it safe to go up there? I don't think it's safe to go up there again. They almost
Russian
got us
gnomes.
that last time.
Hell yeah, they're Russian.
And you hear a woman's voice go, no, you don't understand. We got them. The reason there were so many is because we are getting close. We are very close to getting what we want. We need to make something big so we can get paid by Skiggy. We need to get food. The other one's like, oh, well, Skiggy won't give us half of what these things are worth. And they keep kind of bickering back and forth. And you hear a third voice chime in every once in a while. He doesn't say anything of value. A male voice chimes in, but really he's just like kind of grunting and making non-committal agreements.
So I'm going to kind of, as they're speaking, I'm going to kind of relay Thalia to message the group that there's like 3 of them. There's possibly 3. They're most definitely the incursioners. And yeah, they're
Alright.
gnomes.
I will send that message to Ronan.
I will relay that message.
How accurately do you relay that message?
I'm going to say
Don't make me roll. Don't make me make you roll for it.
So there are apparently 3 gnomish voices at the end of this tunnel, and they're talking about Skiggy, and they want us to go in the hole.
Who told you that?
Thalia did. She's not up there, she's in there.
Well, let's go in the hole then. They're just gnomes. We can take them out easy peasy. Just pop them on the head.
We don't know if we want to take them out. I was expecting like to be a monster or something, and it's people. So stand down, tiger.
Well, let's go.
Are there
in the hole.
tigers in D&D?
That's the only option.
I would assume so.
I
Okay.
mean, there's a Rakasha,
Rakshasa.
of which I have a cube for.
You could throw the Rakshasa cube at them.
God.
So,
I go in the hole.
so you guys, so Ronan's first. So hang on,
The
let me go
biggest,
march
most
over.
awfulest person to go in goes first.
Makes perfect sense.
So, Maury, Thalia, this is just for me.
I'm still here.
You're good. Maury, Thalia.
I am too. I just need another beer.
Ronan's next. Who wants to go? Robbie will push forward after Ronan.
I'll go last.
Okay, and then we'll have Thrall, Cora, and Thar sort of enter together. For everyone who is medium, and not tiny, or not thin, this is a crawl, and it is not. Are you guys attempting to actually? Robbie's going to pass without a trace. So everyone in this tunnel, give me a stealth check, and add 10 to the result.
Oh, thank God.
28.
Whoa.
You got everyone who is in full plate.
30.
Is it
Roll
disadvantage?
It's disadvantage.
Oh, son of a bitch. This is not going to end well.
Stealth?
Stealth, please.
Plus 10 would
Plus
be
10. Plus whatever your other stealth modifier is.
Oh, thank God.
29.
18.
Okay.
Is Thrall in full plate?
Is that plus 10, Deeps?
Yes. I got a 7.
Actually, you're so Deeps. You're not roll at advantage because you're not moving. You're currently waiting.
Wait, so it's 10 plus our normal?
Whatever
Yep.
your roll is plus 10 plus your
Mine
modifier.
is a pitiful 14.
That's a 20.
That's a 2. That's a 2 plus 2 plus 10.
I got a 28 then.
Okay. Did anybody roll under? What's the lowest roll here?
Deeps.
With the 18?
No, I got a 28
28.
with the.
Josh got a 14.
Okay.
Yep.
Thalia,
So-
what was yours?
29.
Ooh.
Yeah, not worried about it. Oh, I should roll for Robbie, I guess.
Nat ones. He just yells down the hole. Hello, I am Robbie.
That's one.
It's a 1? No.
No!
So
No.
you guys, Robbie goes kind of in the middle of the pack,
Oof.
and it takes a second. Maury, you hear the conversation stop, and you realize it's because Robbie's high beams are still on. And he, before he went in the hole, Lami and Lythar, the Lami, Lythar, Thrall, you guys saw him, when he tries to turn them off, there's kind of like a weird, head bob that he does. And he did the bob and then went in the hole, but his high beams didn't turn off. So all of a sudden, there's light just pouring down this hole. And the conversation at the other end stops. And Maury at the front, you hear, "What was that? Did you see that? Listen." Everyone's. The rest of you, you hear them just be like, "Shh, shh, shh, shh. Listen. Do you hear something?"
I'm going to turn off my chicken and pop him in my bag.
Mhm. Okay, you still have Robbie in the bag, blinding the rest of you.
Is he behind me?
Do I hear anything that
He's
the
directly
Russian
behind.
gnomes are saying?
You guys hear? You're far enough back, Lami. You're at the very end. You don't
Yes.
hear much.
Okay.
Robbie or Ronan, you see that Robbie's high beams are on.
Is there enough room for me to get my head back and wave at him and Point at his eyeballs.
So if you wanted to cover his eyes, you can give him advantage, or you can have him attempt to re-roll that with advantage because you're covering the
I will.
eye base.
Yes, I will do that.
Cool. So you turn, and it's like you cover his eyes.
Do I take
the
AoE damage for poking?
You take 4 points of heat damage.
All right.
To the hand. What was your question, Maury?
Can I see the end of the tunnel? Like, is it just an open hole, or is it?
It's starting to turn, and you see what looks like a flickering purple light at the end, and that's where like you're seeing this like wavering purple light, and now just quiet on the other. There we go. That's much better. So you cover the eyes, and after holding it there for a couple of seconds, the light goes out from behind your hand, Ronan. The heat is still there, but the lights are off. You're now just touching a really hot light bulb.
I will let go.
And everyone has stopped moving.
I'm just gonna kind of turn around and be like, shh. And try to get everybody to like stop moving and doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh shit! I didn't think about what Cora's doing.
Oh,
Does she fit?
Yeah, she can fit. If Ronan and Lummy can fit, she'll fit.
Okay.
What's your stealth modifier? No, normally I keep an eye on that. Stealth +7. She's literally cannot fail. +8 +10. She has +7 +10. She literally can't fail.
Oh right, she has stealth. That's right.
And I'm not gonna make her nat 1 because Robbie did.
God damn.
Thanks, Mike. I miss you, buddy. Thanks for the nat 1s. So you hear, it was nothing. No, you're just imagining things again. You think the little spider things are going to come after us, don't you? You big chicken. It's like, I'm not chicken. They're scary. Enough of them got onto you, they can carry you away. You saw it. You know what they can do. You've been here with us. He's like, yeah, you big coward. He goes, he's not a coward. I'm also a little afraid of them. They are tiny, but there are many of them.
Are they telling the truth?
Are you looking for an insight check on just the voice?
No, I can't understand them. I don't think Thrall can. Can you hear Gnomish?
Nope.
Okay.
Wait,
does that ring work on languages he can't understand?
It does.
Ooh, that's cool.
The statement.
Sure, they're lying, but can you tell what they're lying about?
You can determine the truth of a statement even if you don't understand the language.
That's
so
good.
I'm interested.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not interested because.
Great.
I'm gonna whisper to Thalia, "What should we do? I don't know what to do."
I don't really know either. I mean, we should probably take care of them.
I'm gonna start crawling up.
Crawling down further into the tunnel.
Yes.
I was waiting for you to actually say Lythar did that. The total.
Curtis warned me my first D&D session because I spear the mayor, and he went, "Do you really?" And I was like, "No, I'm joking."
Like, don't do that.
And he said, "Don't do that because I'll make you go through with it if you say things like that."
Mm-hmm. And that's your warning, Lythar. Everybody gets one.
No, I
did that earlier.
I had my warning many years ago.
I knew that already. I was low key trying to see if you would make it happen.
That's your one warning on camera.
So if I say I do that again, does that mean it happens?
Oh,
yes. Kind of boy, will happen.
It. I mean, you can attempt to mimic a call of some kind if you felt like.
What the fuck would make a call down in this weird menagerie?
A kraken.
Technically.
So the conversation in Gnomish turns back to them talking about what they want to do.
Can I tell like what they're looking for or what they're doing?
They
talked about any of that.
They keep talking about their haul and selling it to a man named Skiggy.
Their haul.
Their haul.
Have they described their haul? What are they grabbing?
They haven't, from what you can tell, they haven't gotten their hands on anything yet. But they mentioned that there, with that many doors, there's got to be something good. And they mentioned that they're hunting for something called green glow, or is that's the colloquial, like they're green glow. They're not hunting for white people. But they said that rat-faced bastard wants more green glow, and we're running out.
I'm sorry, Curtis.
Has Ronan reached Thalia and I?
I think right now I feel like you guys are almost human centipeding. There's not that much room in this tunnel. Is on the back end of Robbie, which I'll let you determine that anatomy test.
Bing!
Ronan, what should we do?
I think we should continue down. I'm stage whispering. I think we should continue down the thing and see what these people want. I don't think we should just go down here and cut them down. I mean, they're people. We should see if they're nice or mean. Maybe they were here for the same reason we were here before.
Maybe we should call to them while we're in the tunnel.
No.
We just have a face-off in the tunnel. Nobody can move past each other.
Okay, well, I think everyone's here, so if we're gonna do something, I think we can keep going.
Huh?
All right,
I can't
let's
go
do
anywhere. There are people in front of me.
So,
Jab.
Maury and
Backing up.
Maury and Frank keep traipsing their way. And as you come around this curve, the end of the spiral, the flickering purple light gets a little brighter, more intense, and you kind of circle around a corner, and suddenly it circles around a corner, and then it opens up into this cavern, and it drops in front of you, like the tunnel just drops off, and turns it, and there looks like a set of ladder steps that have been embedded in the rock so someone can climb up into the. And inside the room, about 30 feet away, there's a trio of figures sitting around a purple glowing campfire.
Purple what?
The flames on this campfire are purple.
Oh, jeez.
And they're sitting around it, and this purple firelight is catching their figures. They're about your size, Maury. Pretty broad-shouldered. There doesn't seem to be a lick of hair on two of them. And the third one has like this braided mohawk that turns into just a regular braid running down her back. There's pickaxes and things leaning up against the wall. And they're sitting there in what look like kind of mining their work leathers. And they're sitting around the fire. And there's some kind of animal or something on a spit over it that's just slowly turning. And they're just starting to argue about sort of inane shit right now. Just like a couple of, like how when we're all just kind of sitting in a room together, we're all just kind of shooting the shit, waiting for what looks like their meal to be done. Give me, Maury, as the first person to see them, give me a history check.
Telling you, mushroom gnomes, man. Worst ones.
Not even once.
They're the laid back ones.
Not doing those. Not doing those again.
Do I add my proficiency bonus to this too?
You will add the 6, which because you are proficient in history, so it's already included in that.
Oh, so it's included in that bonus. Okay.
So it's 3, yes, because it's 3 for intelligence, 3.
So I got a 17 total.
Okay. These are deep gnomes.
Deep gnomes.
So like Deep Rock Galactic kind of gnomes?
So like DP.
These are
Drums in
like
the deep.
rock gnomes hang out. Well, these guys live like miles below where rock gnomes hang out. They're the closest thing to dwarves that you'll run into that's still a gnome. There's always been jokes that like, oh, a deep gnome and a dwarf got it on, or a rock gnome and a dwarf got it on. You got deep gnomes. They are master jewelers. Everyone respects their ability to work with metal and jewels. They're also they're very particular, very persnickety about territory and respect. But they're also like, if you manage to win their favor, they will fulfill their end of the bargain, every single piece of it, all the way. But it's really hard to earn favor. And if you try to pull a fast one on them, they'll pull a faster one. They are tricksy dudes. They also are, and the reason they get made fun of being a half-breed with a dwarf, they're 3 feet tall and they're about 100 pounds. They're dense. Do you have any questions about them?
What color are they? Are they like, do they have the same color skin tone as?
They're a very dark gray. The reason that you can see them at all is, 1, they're not hiding, and 2, they're next to a purple campfire. And so like you can see their skin reflecting the firelight, but with like a normal torch, or if the lights were out, they would be a bitch to see. They're just a very dark, deep gray.
All right, well, I guess I'm gonna go out of the tunnel.
You're gonna go down the.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me. Are you trying to be sneaky?
No,
Okay.
not really.
So you're still unintentionally sneaky because Pass Without a Trace is on. But they don't notice you. They're all still bickering about kind of whatever. As you walk up to them.
Hello. What are you guys doing here?
They leap up, and the woman has what looks like an industrial pickaxe in her hands, and the other 2 pull knives and just jump it. Like,
Whoa. I'm just trying to figure out what you guys are doing here. Why are you here?
and one of the broader ones with the dagger puts his dagger away and goes, "We should be asking you the same question. How did you get here?"
I heard you guys talking about this guy, Skiggy. He sent us to scout this area and figure out what's going on.
Roll a deception check, please.
Somebody in the party knows how to lie.
What deception take? Oh, I think my deception's terrible. Yeah. That's a 10.
Do you still have inspiration, or is your character sheet just out?
I do have an inspiration. I'm going to use it. Oh, God. Oh, no.
So it goes on the
And
floor.
it's a 1.
That means he takes the 10.
It's worse. It's a 7.
Okay. so you take the 10.
Oh, does inspiration just give you advantage? It doesn't.
Gives you advantage.
Oh,
Correct.
I thought you rolled like a D8 and added it to
That's
it.
bardic
That's part of the
inspiration.
inspiration.
Oh, I've been
That's
doing
just-
inspiration wrong.
That's just the bards.
Oops.
Oh,
I need to retire that die for the moment.
Are deep gnomes and deep dwarves the same thing?
No.
Okay.
Duergar are very
One
different.
wears a pointy hat.
Oh. I found a picture for a deep
So-
gnome, and he has like this long beard and this big nose. He looks dope.
And no, this is so this the other two are like the woman with the pickaxe is kind of spinning it in her hand. She's looking at you, and she's looking all kinds of suspicious. And the other one is holding his daggers, and he flips one, so he's holding it by the blade. He's just kind of standing. The broader one who addressed you just goes, Skiggy sent you, eh?
Mhm.
Yeah, I never.
Why, yes.
And he just puts his daggers away, and they're like, Dolan, how
You-
does
Focus your camera. Sorry.
love me, camera. Be my friend. Be
I
my
don't think it's
friend.
his camera. I think he's
No, it's my
120p. Oh.
It's my camera. Come on, baby.
Squeeze that.
Ooh.
Nice.
I have to fuck with it every once in a
Camera
while.
seduction, natural 20.
He puts his daggers away, and he goes, well, I thought Skiggy did not know about this place, but he seems to know a lot about things. And the other two are like, Dolan, what are you doing? He goes, no. It's if he's with Skiggy, it's fine. We don't want to offend any friend of Skiggy. He said, and he walks up and he goes, what is your name? What is your name?
Scory.
Make another deception check, please.
Oh no.
Oh, that's a natural 20.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Scory. My name is Dolan. Dolan Court Smasher. It is good to meet you.
It's good to meet you too. And
He shakes your hand, and it's a miner's grip. This is a dude who throws around rocks for a living. Well, how can I? What did you say? Wait a minute. You said we. Who is we?
I'm gonna move out of the tunnel.
Do you
At
speak
that point-
Gnomish?
I don't.
Are you just creeping
Oh,
around
I'm
the
just
tunnel
gonna-
to see
I'm
what's
gonna-
up?
I'm
Actually,
gonna
yeah.
kinda-
I'll wait for the cue. Yeah.
Can you see him?
I don't.
He's
can I?
around a fire.
He pulled far ahead. I didn't know if you guys were following along closely or if you were letting him scout ahead first.
It depends on. I thought the fire was like fairly close to this entrance.
No, he
Was
means
it?
in the
Fire's
tunnel.
like
He
the
means
fire's
In
like
the
30
tunnel.
feet in the
I.
tunnel. The tunnel curves around and then basically just comes to a drop off.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't see what you were saying earlier.
I
Oh,
apologize.
so they're like far away.
They're it's one of those you don't
I would have
shoot or you-
followed at least until the drop off.
But you're behind Thalia.
Yeah.
So
So I'm gonna go. Hey, Scalia, come out here.
All right. I will exit the tunnel.
Okay. So do they have dark vision? Or two questions. I hope they have.
I would think so.
You would
They
hope
do
they
have dark
would.
vision. So they see a figure come out of this tunnel. And the other two just ready their weapons again. And Dolan's like, "Oh yes, I see you have a companion. How interesting. Wait a moment. How did you get on the other side of our tunnel?"
I dug a tunnel over there on the other side. I was wondering what this tunnel was.
Interesting. I would have thought we'd have heard digging. I guess we were a little too relaxed for our own good, eh? Come. What was your name? What was your name again?
Scalia.
Scalia. Excellent. It is nice to meet you. I am Dolan. Come, have a piece of cave rat that we found. The pickings aren't good, but it's better than nothing.
Do I know what Kevrat is?
Cave rat? It's just a
Cave rat.
It's just
I thought you said something weird. I was like, what?
No, it's just
Tastes like chicken.
it's
I know
literally
what
just
a
like a
kitty
giant.
rat is.
It's literally just like a huge big old rat. It would be. It's not.
It's nutritious.
It's food. Yeah, it's not the cleanest of things. And they bring the two of you over, and the big, very, very, very large individual like puts his daggers away and goes back to turning the spit. And the woman just hefts her pickaxe onto one shoulder and just is looking at the two of you really suspicious, and she goes and sits back at next to the rat. The two of them are eyeing the two of you very suspiciously.
So
I'm gonna stare at them. Cross my arms and just stare at them.
Sit grumpily. Okay.
So what did Skiggy send you here for? Just curious if we're here for the same thing.
What else does Skiggy want? Skiggy is always looking for his next big haul, I guess. The woman just goes, he's always looking for the green glow or for more people. He's always looking for people. I don't know why he thinks we'll find people in any of these caves, but he keeps asking.
People? He asked us for the green glow. I didn't know he was looking for people.
Huh? Toad's like, the one turns to the woman and says, Grethela, please. It's not... I don't like it any more than you do. But it makes us a tiny profit on the side, and I don't like it any more than you do, but sometimes we do what we have to feed our families. You know that. And Gretla, the pickaxe goes, yes, but I still don't like it.
I'm gonna look at Moore and go, people? You didn't tell me that when you hired me for this job.
Skiggy didn't tell me about it whenever he hired me for this job. I'm curious as to why you guys are looking for people.
The big dude at the spit goes, how long have you been working for Stiggy?
Not very long, to be honest.
Well, unfortunately, it seems like we let the rat out of the tunnel, eh? We what my compatriots are trying to say politely. I don't know why they're so polite about it, but we have a standing order with Skiggy. Any people we find, if we can take them back to him, he gives us the tidy profit. Anybody we find in these caves, usually lost, crazy, they're usually better off back in civilization. Now, my friends here seem to think that Skiggy is some kind of slaver, but I would rather see the rare person we find be taken care of rather than be left in the cave somewhere. Dolan, do you remember the time that we found that dwarf? He was all crazy. Said there was gold in those hills, but kept digging up coal and showing it to us. Dolan's like, yes, I remember that dwarf. He was a sad case. But one day, when you work with Skiggy a little longer, the pay becomes worth it.
Interesting.
But you said he sent you for green glow.
Yeah.
Have you found any?
Not in that cave. As
As
a matter of fact, that cave is pretty terrifying. I gotta be honest. We were trying to find our way out. I don't know if you guys even want to go in there.
Oh, you mean the
Why did you say that?
the little spider things?
Yes, they're awful. Have you seen any of them? And also the huge one with the eyes that kind of spin around. It's terrifying.
Don't forget the hands.
And the hands.
I know 'em.
The one with the hands?
We found a door with a crack in it. Not gonna lie.
Interesting. We haven't been able to get any doors open. How'd you do it? And Dolan like kind of walks over and sits next to you, Maury, and gets like, how'd you do it?
So we have these feathers, right, that we found. Right, and I pull one out of my bag. There's something weird about them. I found them in the cave. They like open all the doors.
How many you have?
Just the one.
I got one.
I kind of shoot a glance over to Thalia.
2 feather. Well, how much?
For the feather?
For the one. I'd like both, but I want to make sure you can get out of it. As a favor to Skiggy, if you catch my drift.
I don't know if I can trust you with a feather. This is kind of... I feel like we were here first.
How long have you been here?
I mean, we found this cave like 2 days ago.
Roll deception for me.
Dang it.
3 weeks.
10.
10. What is that? Oh boy, what's his numbers?
He rolled a 37. Good luck.
2 days. You were up there for 2 days? You were up in that for 2 days. And you're still alive.
We were trying to get through that. You see that collapsed tunnel on the way here? No, bunch of rocks outside.
No.
No?
No, we have
Tried
not
going through there. Figured if cave-in had happened, we might have some better luck finding a pre-existing tunnel. Took us extra time.
No, we have not been able to leave that large room. We get up, we climb up the tunnel, we found it, we saw the doors with weird... There's holes in the door, but they are too big. Even Bulber here does not have big enough hands to open these doors. And all of a sudden, these things just came out of the walls. Just started attacking, trying to catch us. And
creepy.
They're telling me. Bulber here killed most of them by falling on them. I'm glad to leave him alone. He's a big guy. And Bulber is just standing by the fire, just like,
How tall is Bulber?
He's about 4 feet. He's tall he's big for a gnome. He's got the proportions of Ronan. It's on a 4-foot body. So like it's a thick
Same
boy.
proportions, different scale.
Yeah. Instead of shifting up or left or right, you just grab the corner and scale him that way. Bulber's 2 days, huh? I'd be willing to pay a pretty price for that feather. Tell you what. Split my green glow with you when we take back to Skiggy. Split it right now. And I'll give you credit for helping with our with another present, shall we say.
Do I know what green glow is?
Give me
Ringo.
It's where the light turns green
give
and then
me
you get to
give me an
go.
intelligence check. Let me see if there's a better one. I mean, I guess that would, yeah, give me nature.
Nature.
Nature, please.
Oh, that's not bad. 14.
So you've never seen it. and you've heard stories about rocks that just glow kind of on their own. In like you don't put a light to them; they just kind of glow on their own. And putting the pieces together with what they're looking for, you're like, okay, green glow. You get this weird mental image of in the sewers of Korumvor of a rat holding a staff with a large glowing green rock in it.
Hmm. I honestly forgot about that.
It's been a long time coming.
It's been a couple of months.
It is.
It's only been 3 weeks.
A fucking radioactive thing that Master Splinter had on his stick.
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's just
So don't worry. What do you think? Split the payout. If you can give me that feather, we can go get more. Suddenly, a cool wind rushes through the cavern.
Sorry, it's so fucking hot in my room now that
No,
I
I
have
feel
to
you,
turn
buddy.
it off.
You're good.
I have a space
I'm,
heater
I'm
going.
starting to sweat.
What's wrong with you?
Dude,
what do you
it's-
have
I'm
in
on,
there? It's
I'm
causing
on,
all the heat.
All right.
I'm
We're
on
almost,
the
we're almost
third
done. We're almost
floor.
done.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Sure, I'll split it with you.
Yeah.
Where do we even take this? I feel like nobody told me.
You take Gret picks up her pickaxe and walks over, and it's still like casually over her shoulder. She's looking at Thalia. She throws a glance over and goes, "You don't know where to take it?"
Listen, whoever hired me, it wasn't Skiggy. It was whoever hired me. It didn't give me very much information. It was like, hey, we need some green glow. And then they sent us on our way.
How much green glow?
Do I know what kind of like measurement these things?
By weight? You heard them when you were eavesdropping. You heard them mentioning by the gross.
Fig of weed. I'm just kidding.
I feel like that's not big enough.
The real question is, do they operate on a metric system or freedom units?
Freedom height, baby. Freedom height.
It's a ton.
I mean, for just the two of us, they said that we should at least go back with like 20 pounds.
Give me another deception check, please.
Pickaxe to the forehead.
Even though
Thalia, if you want to chime in and give me an assist, go for it.
I got an 18.
am I allowed to, even though I have no idea what's going on, but like legit out of life-thorn curiosity that this has been going on for a bit, and I am a sneaky boy, can I like scooch past Ronan and just like sneak up to like farther up the tunnel? Not like get down, but at least like get closer?
You're behind, because this was when you stepped away. You're behind Thrall at this point.
Who's behind Robbie? Who's behind me?
My butt smells like cherries.
There's no way of me
There's a
squeezing
chain of
between
people.
these people.
It would require a series of stealth checks to make your way forward because it is a tiny tunnel.
Forget it. God damn you big people.
However, this conversation has shifted to common when Thalia showed up, which
But
is
like,
something I
are we
forgot to
even
mention.
able to hear it from how
This is a louder conversation. In the back, you're starting to have a little difficulty with it.
Honestly, Scory, you think these guys have the same job? I'm starting to think this is a suicide mission.
What, there's like 4 of them? Is that what the case is? Or is there 3?
There's 3.
Yeah. I mean, look at the huge guy. I mean, we couldn't keep up with them.
Bet you they just hired a couple of us to see how long we'd last.
Honestly, with that tunnel they sent us through, I couldn't imagine.
Gretla kind of gets right up in your face. Thalia gives it. And goes back and sits on the opposite side of this purple fire. Just like has her pickaxe head down, so she's got her hands on the pommel of it. She's just kind of looking at you. Looking at the two of you as she's waiting.
Oh no.
Dolan's like, so, we have a deal? We have a deal? Feather for half the haul? Be a big help getting us around up there.
Well, it's not going to help me at all if I don't know where to take it.
You can come back with us. Or you just take it back to Skiggy. I don't know if he's meeting you somewhere else, or if you have a... I understand the need for secrecy, but...
Probably.
If he plans on meeting you, he'll be ready for it. And as you said, if this is a suicide mission, well... He's not expecting you to come back at all, and you keep it for yourself. Sell it direct.
What are you planning on doing after I hand you this feather?
Yeah. I'm going to make sure it works while you're still here. Or, if you're not comfortable and you want to show me that it works, we go up the tunnel and you show me it works. Give you half the green glow, send you on your way.
I'll tell you what, if you plan on going back into the tunnel while I'm still here, let me make sure it's safe in that room, because the things we've seen are pretty ridiculous. And I'm going to start putting together my chicken. And is magical tinkering, is that like I think of what I want it to say, or do I actually have to say it like a message?
What are you trying to do?
His artificers are like brain people. I'm trying to use message, the 6-second message.
They're big brain people.
They are big brain people.
They are big brain people?
I mean, also, we can hear what's going on, so is there a chance we
You
pick
can.
up what is being said and we fucking yeet out of there?
Yeah, but does Lami have the intelligence to know that?
I'm in
Someone
the
could tell
front.
me. I'm in
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
but
back.
you gotta get around us. We have to go backwards.
Someone's just got to relay the message.
And we just back up.
It's a horrific game of telephone.
Whisper down the lane.
I'm going to whisper to Robbie and be like, we should stop backing out.
Understood. And he turns to Thrall and goes, Ronan says we should start backing out.
I'm just gonna say okay and start moving.
Start backing out.
Right in
Right into the Lythar.
Just like, as the dude in full plate, give me a stealth check, please.
You idiot.
You get the +10, you're still at disadvantage. Because you're going to start a chain reaction.
If you make for a yelp,
26.
Okay.
Hey, there you go. That's good.
So you back up, and is that a disadvantage?
It should, yeah, I think so.
Roll twice, take the lower.
Okay, 22.
So you start like backing up, and there's a little bit of rattle from your armor as everyone just kind of like shuffles into each other. But there's really no, like, the metallic noise draws a little bit of attention. And yeah, Gretla and Bulber like stand up and have their weapons in hand again, and they're all looking at that cave entrance. Maury, to answer your question, what would you want to message? Because it's one of those where you imbue it with a property of your choice, and
Right.
usually it's something that you say into it, and then it just repeats it.
So I would have to say it out loud.
Say it out loud unless it's something generic that you might have had built in as like a preset.
No,
Fucking
not that
leave,
far.
bro.
well, I think it's time we should be going now.
I think we're all shimmying backwards at this point.
You guys
Yeah,
are
so
all
as I'm like putting together my chicken, I want to kind of like say loudly, it would really be a shame if like there was a trap back there, or like people were getting like It would be a real shame if something were to happen. So let me send my chicken in first, just to make sure
So it was a
everything's
metal
okay.
sound that we heard out in the room?
You heard a faint, like, metal on stone noise.
Swear to God, if it's those creepy little metal things again.
Yeah.
I thought we got rid of them.
I'm gonna scoop my chicken through the tunnel.
So you guys, as you're walking back, you see this, like, you hear this click, 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 as this, like, metal chicken just comes, like, walking up the tunnel. Just doing chicken things.
It's gonna, like, keep on running into whoever's first.
Just keeps booping me in the face.
This chicken just keeps, like, fronting on Ronan, just like...
I blow at it. I go.
This is hilarious because Chris is fond of chickens in real life.
I am. I love chickens.
So,
They're pretty dope.
Amazing.
So everyone makes it back into the room, with the exception of Maury and Thalia. And what the hell was his name? Doland, as he's like, well, that chicken seems to be quite useful. I should get me one of those. That seems to be a nifty thing. Where'd you get it?
I made it myself.
Mhm. Where are you from?
Me?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not really from anywhere. I travel around and
I popped that in the ground.
Where were you born? I'll ask questions that don't have evasive answers. Where were you born?
was I born? Well, that was a long time ago, you see. Spring Socket. I was born in Spring Socket. It's been a long time since I've been there, though.
Explain. Well, you're the nicest rock gnome I've ever met. And for that, we'll let you in on a little secret. In Baldur, let's introduce our guest. So,
Oh no.
Bye.
to our maid of honor. And Bulber just stands up, walks over, and focuses his camera. There we go. And he walks over to a stalagmite and reaches up and grabs like a near invisible handhold, pulls it open, and half of this pillar just silently just whiffs open. And inside this stalagmite, chained to the interior, is a woman.
Oh shit.
Thalia. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up when you see, in the purple firelight of this room, a necklace around her neck. Written in Celestial. That reads, Adonis. And that's where we will leave off.
Dragons. Just kidding.
She's a dragon.
I thought for a second it was going to read Property of Thalia.
Thalia is secretly a slave owner, and Roman
So-
has no idea.
Yeah.
So everyone, thanks y'all for playing. And, we'll sign off for another week.
Okay, bye.